Hello, fight fans, and welcome to Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7. It's being held in the Northfield Park Casino, at the Hard Rock Rocksino in Northfield Park, Ohio. Today I'm Grant Berger, and with me is Charlie Smith, my fellow ring commentator. Hello, Charlie.
Hello, Grant.
How are you doing today?
Excellent. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm very excited about the fights we have going on tonight. This is a new event we're having in Ohio. It's a Pittsburgh versus Cleveland format. What do you have to say about anything?
You know what? I've been ready for this for a long time. I'm a native Pittsburgh guy, so you know what? I'm the outside guy coming into tonight's show, but I can't wait for this card. It's the first ever MMA event in a casino in Ohio, period. And what a better place to do it than the Hard Rock Live tonight.
That's absolutely true, Charlie. And I have to say, it's a real honor being able to operate under the Ohio State Athletic Commission today, which is known to be one of the premier athletic commissions in the nation.
No doubt. They've proven that absolutely in the last few days.
And now for our ring introductions is our announcer, Dan Bogan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, just as in ancient Rome when the warriors gathered at the Colosseum to do battle, this evening they're gathering right here at Northfield Park, Ohio, as Gladiators of the Cage proudly presents Road to Glory 7, Pittsburgh versus Cleveland. At this time, would you all please rise, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Gladiators of the Cage, Road to Glory 7. We are making history this evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first MMA fight held in a casino in Ohio ever, and we are proud and thankful for you having us out here. Good evening, folks. This evening event is sanctioned and approved by the Ohio Athletic Commission. The executive director is Mr. and Honorable Bernie Bravado. Your state inspector is David Myers, the assistant inspector, Randy Jarvis. Your judges for this evening, Justin Floor, Karen Rocco, and John Belts, rather. Our referees for this evening, Victor Vantreska and former fighter from the UFC, Forrest Pence. Your physician at ringside, Dr. Alan Klein. Our timekeeper at the bell, Gino Camelli. I'm your ring announcer, Dan Bogan. At this time, let's bring in our ladies of the Gladiators of the Cage, our ring girls this evening. Please welcome Colette, Ollie, and Bree, our ring girls. Give it up for them. Canton, Cleveland, and Akron, we thank you for coming out this evening, and we are so glad to have you with us. At this time, we have a question for you. We've got 20 fighters back there that have worked very hard this evening to get ready. Please, let them hear you. Let everyone hear you. I'll hear you on pay-per-view on GOTC MMA.com and on Tough TV. Are you ready to get this party started? It's fight time. Let's go to our broadcast team of Grant and Charlie for the official instructions and the statistics for our very first event. The tail of the tape.
All right, it's for our tail of the tape. We have our first amateur fight tonight. The fight is Goodlo versus Zach Grossman. It's going to be a very interesting fight. Both fighters very ready to go. What do you have to say, Charlie?
You know what? I've been looking forward to this fight. Zach Grossman, experienced guy, 3-3 versus 2-0, and Dion, I've been waiting for this.
Absolutely. Dion Goodlo, 25 years old, 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 155 pounds with an undefeated record of 2 wins and 0 losses. Competing against Zach Grossman today, also 25 years of age, 6 feet 0 inches tall, weighing 155 pounds with an even record of 3 wins and 3 losses.
First fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 154.5 pounds. He stands 6 feet tall with a record of 3 wins, 3 losses. He fights for Renzo Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's from Pittsburgh, fighting for Team Pittsburgh tonight, Zach Grossman. And fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 155 pounds. He stands 5 feet 7.5 inches tall with a record of 2 wins and no losses. He fights for Penn Hills MMA from Rankin, Pennsylvania. Fighting this evening for Team Cleveland, it's Dion Goodlo!
Dion Goodlo taking center cage, it appears. Both fighters trying to jockey for position.
Nice leg kick. Feeling each other out, that's the biggest part. Feeling out process has already started. Both guys look very confident.
It's very interesting to see the utilization of leg kicks right now. No shin guards on these amateur fighters today. Both are going actually to chop down the legs, it looks like, early on in the rounds.
Dion circling well, even though Grossman's still an amateur fighter in MMA. I talked with his training partners, he's a pro-level kickboxer, and you can hear those chopping kicks right now.
Zach Grossman appears to have a pretty hefty height and reach advantage over Goodlo. It seems to be pretty evident that he's able to get in and get out, and if I were Goodlo, I would be a little bit careful circling toward that big right hand of Grossman.
Yeah, no doubt, Grant. Yeah, feeling out process, it's coming to an end here. I feel they're going to start flurrying really fast.
Both fighters landing mild punches. I wouldn't say anything significant except for that one there, Charlie.
Big shot. Just barely missed that one.
Stiff jab by Grossman. Beautiful work.
Grossman staying light on his feet. He's using that nice reach to his advantage. If he can keep staying to this, work those leg kicks, I think it's going to be a much more effective strategy.
I have to agree. Both fighters are showing a very significant amount of maturity in their fighting style right now. No one has really gone crazy. No one has gone for the flurry just yet. Both fighters staying relaxed and circling. Very good work on both sides.
Nice head movement by Dion. He's got to be very careful dropping his head that low with Grossman and his kicking ability.
Grossman's back is now on the fence with Goodlo working for a single leg and back up to the upper body punch.
Now Grossman pushing him across with double underhooks, pressing him up against the cage.
I'd say it would behoove Grossman to do a little forehead pressure on Goodlo's chin. That's something that I like to do personally, but we'll see how these things go. And they turn again, and now Goodlo has Grossman's back on the fence.
Good job by Dion getting both those underhooks and turning him off that fence.
Absolutely. Both fighters jockeying for position, and knees to the body are exchanged.
Nice. Good knee by Grossman. Nice exchange by Dion with the big left hook.
Grossman looking unfazed by the exchange.
Oh,
steadily
stiff jab.
stalking in, and a jab by him.
Oh, that may have hurt Dion. Dion's coming in. He's clinching.
Goodlo completes the single leg takedown in an attempt of desperate action.
Great job. He's pressing him up against the fence. He needs to regroup himself and get position. Grossman needs to get up just like he's doing. Get to his feet. Don't allow Dion to rest.
I like how Goodlo seems to already be trapping the legs for hopefully a mounted position every time he gets him down on his back. And both fighters are almost back up, and they are up with Goodlo in a guillotine choke.
Good job. If Grossman gets that hand on the inside of Dion's left arm, there you go. He's going to let it go, it looks like, but he could have went for that choke.
10 seconds left in the round between Dion Goodlo and Zach Grossman at Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7.
Wow, great round to start it out in the first ever inaugural event in any casino in Ohio. Two Pittsburgh guys adapting to the rules in Ohio and really doing a good job that first round.
Beautiful exchanges. I have to point out the technique being used here by Grossman's corner. I've never seen that. He's facing away from his opponent in the corner. Very interesting move.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? They probably talked about this as a strategy, maybe to get a little more input, a little more advice from what's going on from someone else sitting outside.
Sure, I can see that. Now, I'd like to point out this is a beautiful round by both opponents. A lot of traded shots. I wouldn't want to have to be a judge in this fight.
No, I wouldn't either. You know, Dion's doing a really good job. He's got to watch dropping his head because Grossman has really, really good kicks. If he ducks down too much and tries to slip it as you would a conventional boxer, Grossman could make him pay on that.
I would say I am interested to find out if Goodlo may have exposed an hole in Grossman's game with the takedown attempts. He completed takedowns this round.
No doubt. If I'm both guys' quarterman, I know exactly now what I'm telling them for the second round. We'll see if they'll implement it.
100%. All we need to do is make sure that Grossman doesn't swing wild. He should be able to stay calm and maybe get the win. If Goodlo can get in underneath him and get the takedown, things could be good for him as well.
I really think that's where Grossman's experience is going to help out. That 3-3 fights is a big difference between 2-0, and I think that's going to pay off.
Chopping leg kicks by Grossman. You could hear them.
We could hear them all the way up here. Really, really good leg kicks, and I think he needs to keep that pressure with the jab.
Very nice. Back to the fight. Round 2. Dion Goodlo and Zach Grossman.
Great show of sportsmanship, touching gloves. These guys worked really hard to get to this point, and they don't want to disappoint these fans.
Good overhand right by Goodlo.
Nice chopping leg kick again. Grossman is really working that. He's back again. Oh, he clipped Dion.
I saw Goodlo's legs shift a bit whenever that
They definitely
happened.
buckled. They definitely buckled. Grossman's got to keep the pressure and pass, and now he has. He's gotten side control.
And this, Charlie, this is the beauty of amateur fighting in Ohio. We're about to see some good ground and pound with luck. We're going to see some good old-fashioned wrestling with the punches. I love it.
Dion's doing a great job of defending himself. He knows that. He's already made himself accustomed to these rules, and I'm sure in training he's already trying to adapt himself. Grossman gets a hook in on the far side. He's looking. He's got an arm tied up.
Beautiful technique by Grossman.
He's got to stay on that back. Second round, the sweat's already starting to go, so it makes it a lot more difficult.
And he's working for the rear naked choke, but it appears Goodlo is trying to turn in, and now Grossman has the leg triangle.
Oh, that body triangle is brutal, Grant. Once that's on there, it just inhibits your breathing so much.
And the choke. Can he do it, or can
he's
Goodlo
close.
fight off the hand?
He's got that left arm deep. Dion's doing a good job. He's got to fight for one wrist at a time and try to get his head out, keep his chin turned.
Absolutely. It appears that Grossman was going for an S grip on that rear naked choke.
Yes, it was. Oh boy, he's adjusted. He's really trying. This could be close. Dion's fighting.
Behind the neck.
Dion is really fighting this.
Can he do it? And
Oh,
the
he got the tap.
Zach Grossman wins via rear naked choke in the second round.
What composure by Grossman, really showing off that experience, and it really comes through right there, taking his time and setting up that choke.
I love the fact that in the first round, Goodlo showed Grossman, I can take you down. And in the second round, Grossman said, go ahead and try.
Exactly, and he adjusted to it very well. His corner's great job of that whole team.
Fantastic performance by both fighters. Dion Goodlo now taking his first loss, and actually this is going to be the first time he's ever fought and not fought to a decision.
Right. You know, the first loss is always very bitter, but I'll tell you what, he come out here and he put on a performance, and listen to this crowd. They're acknowledging it.
They love it. Wonderful performance by both fighters. If it weren't for guys like this sport wouldn't exist here today in Cleveland. That's
exactly right. I couldn't have said it better, Grant. These are the guys that paved the way for shows like this to happen, and we really appreciate these guys that come out and put it all on the line.
Absolutely, and I hope to have Goodlo back soon, because I like his hat.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of this event at 1 minute 39 seconds of the second round via the rear naked choke, fighting out of the blue corner for Pittsburgh, Zach Grossman. Zach, surely there's some people you want to thank.
Yeah, man, I want to thank all my training partners, my Wilkins, everyone else that always on my back, always on me ready for fights. Sorry. I want to thank Pickers Fitness Nutrition, sponsoring me out somewhere right here. Yeah, just thanks for everyone else coming out. Appreciate you guys.
Did it go the way you wanted to? Were you thinking it was going to be more like that or tap out, or what was your plans if you could plan it?
Honestly, I think I'm starting to get more well-rounded, so I'm happy to go to fight wherever it takes place. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't really want to just let it happen.
Enzo Gracie's working for you.
Always.
Let's hear it for your winner of the first event, Zach Grossman!
Wow, what a performance we just had by Dion and Zach Grossman. Zach Grossman, very impressive in this fight. What do you have to say about that, Charlie? That was a very good choke.
He really showed his maturity, and training with a camp, Warren Stout, what a great job preparing him for the fights, keeping the position, really making sure that he got that submission in and taking his time. That's the experience, not letting it get to him.
Absolutely. Like I said before, I mean, you have to get a guy like Grossman, who got fairly handily taken down. He had a hard time getting back up, and he said, you know what? I don't care if you have it on the ground. I'm going to go after it. I'm going to get that submission, and he worked for it. He took him down, took the back, and steadily and slowly worked toward the rear naked choke. No flailing, no diving on the submission. He knew what he wanted to do, and that's the kind of win that I like to see personally.
That's what really makes an MMA fighter.
And here's the replay. Look at this choke.
The body triangle is beautiful. That really takes the focus off a lot of your fighter because it's taking away the breathing. And it's very hard to get that choke with these gloves on, but what a great job by Grossman really getting that under there. And when he sensed he had it, he really locked it in.
Real maturity on Grossman's part, too, by knowing to put his right knee to the mat, vice his right foot in that body triangle. That is what really clinches the choke. Notice his right knee's on the mat, yet his right arm is going up for the choke.
Absolutely.
What a fight. I have to say, I'm very impressed by both fighters. Why don't we have a word from our sponsors?
Badass Pads, the new reusable motorcycle seat. Badass Pads use pressure-sensitive sticky gel to ensure no scratches, rings, or dents. Badass Pads also feature a gel and memory foam insert for maximum comfort. Application is easy. Simply remove the protective plastic and place on a clean, dry fender or rider seat. When done, replace the plastic and store for the next ride. Get your Badass Pad today. Available in 3 sizes at badasspads.com.
Train hard, look good, feel better.
Come to the rehab center.
Welcome back, fight fans, to Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7 here in beautiful Northfield Park, Ohio, at the Hard Rock Casino. I got it right that time, Charlie. I got it right. We're going over our next fight. It's the second amateur fight of the night. It's going to be Riley Abbott versus Mark Sestock.
Yeah, you know what? Another good fight on the card. Mark Sestock coming out of the same gym Zach Grossman just came out of, and we've seen that Zach Grossman and his maturity. He's training with experienced fighters and world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys. Warren Stout, his trainer, is a black belt under Enzo Gracie, so he's ready to fight.
Absolutely. I've heard great things about Mark Sestock coming up. Guys are chirping about him. All around this weigh-ins and everything, people have been humming about Mark Sestock. Now, I don't want him to count out Riley Abbott. Although Sestock has a 4-inch height advantage over Abbott, I wouldn't count him out. This is Sestock's first fight. This is Abbott's second fight. Abbott is undefeated.
Right.
Let's go on ahead and send it over to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our second event of the evening. It's in the Gladiators of the Cage amateur middleweight division. Calling for 3-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 183 pounds. He stands 6 foot 2 inches tall, making his amateur debut this evening. He fights out of the Henzo Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA Fight Club from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, representing Team Pittsburgh, Mark the Maniac Sestock!
Sestock almost bumping into the ring card girl. Wonderful show. Both fighters looking very confident.
With a 72-inch reach, he's undefeated at 1 win and no losses from GG MMA out of Atlanta, Georgia, but representing Cleveland this evening, it's Wally, the Rabbit Abbott! Your third man in the cage, Boris Pence.
And they're off. First round beginning of Rally Abbott versus Mark Sestock, our second fight of the evening in the amateur division.
Sestock's wasting no time. He's coming out.
Abbott looking to get the takedown very aggressively, and Sestock returning with knees to the body. Both fighters are in the middle of a real serious wrestling match.
Oh, good job of Sestock. He was going to get thrown, and he grabbed the back. But a better job by Abbott keeping position. Sestock pulling guard. Remember, he has a very dangerous guard. Long build, tall and lanky. The arm bars, watch out for the arm bars and triangle chokes off the back, and he's already stacking up.
Now I have to think Abbott has already had a win in the first round via TKO. He could be a ground and pound artist. He seemed very aggressive with his wrestling. Beautiful kick to the body by Sestock, and Abbott with another takedown.
Nice job of transitioning. As soon as his back hit the mat, Abbott started throwing leather. Keep an eye on Sestock's legs. They keep working really, really high.
And that might be where the actual height and reach or advantage, as you were, of Sestock will come into play. Maybe not the punching, maybe not the kicking, but definitely it's a big advantage as far as leg triangles, neck, the arm bar, the knee bar.
Yeah, and he's doing a good job keeping his legs high and making Abbott think so he just doesn't feel that he can throw punches at will.
It appears that Sestock may be transitioning.
He's still looking for that left arm. Yeah.
Very active guard.
Good job. Abbott lets him up.
It appears Abbott has no problem with getting him back down.
Both looking underhooks right now. Sestock pushing Abbott against the fence. Abbott's going to look to circle off there, I believe. Good body shots by Sestock. Throws a couple at the leg. Nice knee by Sestock.
Beautiful. Oh, and almost failed belly-to-belly toss by Abbott.
That's a risky throw right there.
That could have been something. That could have been something bad.
Nice exchange of knees. Let's see if Sestock can finish this. He's got a high single. Abbott doing a good job fighting and sprawling his hip back. Sestock's not stopping. He's really trying to turn that corner.
Wow, and he's almost given Abbott the mount or the top position at the very least. I don't doubt that Abbott really might not want to sit in Sestock's guard too long, but I do think that him being on top is an advantage here in the first round.
Yeah, if I was Abbott, I would definitely be posturing in this position. I wouldn't leave myself low like that.
Sestock with a very active guard. Very interesting to see him constantly working his legs.
Yeah, no doubt. Doing a good job, not letting Abbott get off throwing those big haymakers that he was throwing at the beginning of the fight. Abbott realizing these legs keep moving up of Sestock, so he's staying low. He's not letting his head pop up and keeping his arms inside.
Very good technique being utilized here by Abbott.
Nice.
He needs to be careful of that arm bar. Sestock is bound and determined to get a guard submission.
Abbott still working. 10 seconds left in the round. Nice flurry by Abbott. Sestock defending well.
And that's the round.
Nice rounds. The crowd comes to their feet.
I'd say I'd have to give that one to Rally Abbott if I'm being totally honest. He landed a couple of really good takedowns, Charlie, and he finished the round out strong in a ground and pound position.
No doubt. Yeah, I think he dominated the cage a little better. Sestock doing a good job of defending, working for something up high and keeping those hands of Abbott at bay.
Now I have to say, Charlie, I may actually give the round to Abbott purely on his aggression. He came out and he came out to win and kill right off the bat. That's a great thing in these amateur fights, especially if you have these ground and pound rules. What I would watch out for is Abbott gassing himself out, as Sestock is a pretty big guy. It's a lot to handle to try to continually take him down, let him stand back up, take him down again. It's a very stressful game.
That's a really good point. You know, I don't think this is so far the way Sestock would like it. I think he would like to use that reach of his punches and his kicks a little bit more. But Abbott was really looking like he's sucking some air. He really went for it in that first round. And
Abbott is breathing heavy.
Very heavy. And hope maybe Sestock, those jitters have kind of went away. He's got that first round under his belt, and now maybe, you know, with an experienced corner that he has, they're going to tell him, hey, slow down, relax, let's get back to our game plan now that he's tired, because those big takedowns aren't going to happen if he's that tired.
And this is what I'm talking about with Renzo Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. These guys train like this all the time. They know how to put what they would call in the Gracie family. They know how to put their opponent in the cooker, hold on to him, and get the sub. Round 2 is underway.
Sestock says, I want no part of touching gloves with you. I'm coming out to fight.
Abbott looking a little wobbly, to be honest with you.
Definitely. Good clinch. Sestock has got to stifle that. Good job of getting overhooks and fighting.
Abbott has some pretty good Greco-Roman game looking like it, but I think he's missing the outside leg every time he tries that toss.
Yeah, he landed a couple good knees, but I'll tell you, I think he's really gutting through this. I believe he's really tired. If Sestock keeps making him work like this.
Rally Abbott is still impressing me, though. I mean, he's managed to pull the takedown on the larger opponent, not afraid of the jiu-jitsu, and he's also passing what it looks like to side mount. I would be careful for that guillotine choke, though.
Yeah, no doubt. And the more tired you get, the more things you forget. No matter how long you train, cardio is the killer of all great fighters.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't doubt that Mark Sestock has a few tricks up his sleeve as far as his jiu-jitsu game goes. He's got those long limbs. How can you not?
This is exactly like his training partner, Zach Grossman, did. Taking the back, getting that hook in.
Putting him in the cooker. Really, Charlie, he's putting him in the cooker.
Right, now he's starting to utilize that ground and pound. Nice switch by Abbott. Abbott's pushing through. He didn't like that position, and he's throwing back heavy with that right hand.
This is like a NASCAR race in a way, Charlie. What we're looking at right now is Rally Abbott trying like crazy to make sure he has enough wind to stay on top and finish out the round on top, because honestly, if he does, he could get the W out of it.
Notice how slow his arms are getting. He's letting them extend.
Absolutely, but I will say if Sestock continues to pull guard and continues to try for the submissions and he doesn't get them, he's putting himself in a real serious danger of losing a decision.
That's very true. If he goes down 2-0, the third round, he's got to end it.
100%. Beautiful knees by Abbott. Sestock is still pushing in, trying to get a hold of one of Abbott's legs.
Good head control. Sestock really needs to change levels. Good overhook on the arm, the left arm of Sestock, trying to hold him back.
Abbott controlling the right ankle of Sestock and keeping him from rolling.
We're going to see who gets their feet first here.
A lot of jockeying for position in this guard position here between Sestock and Abbott. Abbott is really trying to just stay and sit in the guard and hopefully land some good ground and pound, where Sestock does not want any part of any of that tomfoolery. All he wants to do is get him in the guard, submit him, or stand back up and fight.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of the game plan from Abbott is implemented, but just, oh, good shot.
Wow.
Abbott may have hurt him there. He's got to keep pushing.
That's the power of a punch. You know, anything could be happening right now, and for either one of these punches to land a clean punch, this fight could be over.
Good job of Abbott passing, getting his right knee over Sestock's left knee. If he can keep that position, he could really work ground and pound, but I have fear he's going to run out of time to do any more.
Abbott pushing Sestock back into the fence.
10 seconds left in this round.
Could Abbott finish the round out on top again?
Nice, left hands. Abbott's finally, oh, good hammer fist. Good way to finish for Abbott. Another close round, but it looked like Abbott again really pushing forward and gutting it out.
Right now, Rally Abbott to me right now, Charlie, is looking like the Steve Prefontaine of fighting. He knows he's winded, and he knows that's how he's going to fight, but he's still doing it. He's still going out there for it.
Well,
he doesn't care.
He has the heart of a gladiator. That's why he's here tonight. He's really pushing through, and he's doing a great job. He's got one more round, and he is really gassed.
Wow.
Taking some heavy breaths there. Sestock looks like he's regrouping. He caught a couple good punches, but look at the experience. He's got Wilkins in his corner. He just main event fighter himself. He's trying to get him in there and tell him, hey, listen, let's implement what we need to do. Now it's time to get this game plan, and let's try to take this third round and win this fight.
Absolutely. This is going to be a very exciting third round. I personally have it scored 2-0 Rally Abbott. That could go either way in the eyes of the judges. There have been a lot of submission attempts, and you never know how that's going to end up.
It really is, and you know, we do a lot more fights in the Pittsburgh area. These fans in this area and judges are used to that ground and pound. They may put a little more weight on that ground and pound, so I'm going to be curious to see how they scored.
That's definitely possible, and that's one of the very distinct differences between Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania in general amateur MMA and Ohio MMA. It's very different with the ground and pound, different judging and different wins.
I think they're going to go for it in this third round. I really do.
I would see hopefully one of them finishing. I would hope that Sestock would go in for the kill. He sees that Abbott is gassed. He's walking funny. I would expect Abbott to go in and try to clinch and just get another takedown.
Sestock needs to circle. He can't back up against that cage, or Abbott's going to do that every time and change that level.
And Sestock's takedown defense hasn't been that great these last 2 rounds. I would hope that he would be able to sprawl out. It looked like his coach, Mike Wilkins, was going over a couple of different ideas with him in the corner. But, you know, really he needs to turn. He needs to take control of the center
there
of the
it
cage.
is. You called it, Grant, and that's exactly what he did.
Beautiful.
He was just waiting for that to happen. Abbott was using good body positioning, just keeping pressure up against that cage, but Sestock swung it around real fast. He's looking to get that left arm in for an underhook. Now he actually has the underhooks, and he's looking for possibly a takedown or a switch of his own here.
Abbott throwing knees coming dangerously close to the groin. Still effective nonetheless.
I knew that was going to catch up with him at some point.
That was going to happen. We all saw that happening. Am I right, Charlie?
Yep, there it is. He's got the back. Now he's got to work those punches. He's got both hooks in now. Oh, good shot by Abbott, turning back into it. Sestock back to his feet. Good flurry on the ground. Abbott's really digging, holding on to that single.
If I were Sestock's corner right now, I would not be too concerned about really getting off right now. I would weigh him down, and I would try to hold onto his neck and get him to gas out, and then try to finish him with punches.
Oh, good right hand. Sestock really loaded up on that one. He's been waiting to land that one. He's got to get those hands free and throw a couple more of those. Abbott's just going to try to turn back into him, facing him face to face. Sestock's got to try to keep his back. Maybe if he goes for that body triangle like Grossman did his teammate, maybe we can see the same results.
Absolutely. It appears that Rally Abbott just has a very good instinctual technique as far as turning into the back mount.
He sure is. He's a tough guy. He's really gutting this out. Both guys are really putting it on the table now. Right hands by Sestock.
Sestock is going to start doing some work with that right hand.
Like to see him get that right hook in. Nice body shot. Oh, good elbow.
Elbows. I'd like to see some knees. I'd like to see a little more coming out of Sestock right now. If I were him, I'd be fighting with just a bit more urgency due to the nature of the fight.
His corner is yelling at him to work. They know this is a close one, and Abbott may be up a little bit, but what persistence by Abbott on those body locks and those takedowns. Great roll through. Oh, he's going for a knee bar, it looks like. Abbott's fighting it.
Abbott. What heart by Abbott.
Abbott sensed it, and now he's trying to stack him. Looks like he's looking for a Kimura here. Good roll, he's in top position. Still got a hold of the left leg. He's gonna try to spin over for a knee bar if he can step across, it looks like. They may be too close to the cage, Grant.
It's a very dangerous technique to try to roll into a bar move against the fence.
10 seconds left, Sestock's gotta push the action.
This is gonna be a very tough fight to judge. I do not envy their job tonight.
Neither do I, Grant. I'm glad I'm up here.
And that's it, folks. Rally Abbott versus Mark Sestock. Wonderful technique employed by both fighters. Abbott with a very grinding wrestling move.
A really great debut by Sestock. I mean, that first fight in there and just going for it. Just the adrenaline alone that you dump when you get into that cage for the first time. And he was able to go full 3 rounds. And once again, with ground and pound.
Absolutely. And Sestock, his guard was so active, and his ground and pound could have been a little better, but it was also very active in the 3rd round. I almost wonder if you wish he would have switched up the idea in the 1st round as far as getting on top and getting off a little bit with the ground and pound.
As we go right back to the very beginning, those jitters, you know, you want to go out there and you want to show you what you've been training for so long because you've held it in all that time.
And this is what it's all about, Charlie. We watched Mark Sestock walk in there, an unseasoned fighter, an inexperienced fighter, and right now look at the smile on his face.
That's what it's all about. You know,
Absolutely.
Get that first one under your belt. Sestock with a shout out to all the Pittsburgh fans, and it seems like a pretty even split crowd here. A lot of people traveling to watch their fellow teammates and friends.
I am just really excited to find out what the decision is going to be on this one, Charlie.
It's taking a little bit of time. You know, I think the judges are really considering that third round. Did Sestock do enough to maybe sway the judges on that? Because it was a dominant round, it seemed, for Sestock.
Could it be a 10-8? Could this turn into a draw?
That's a very good possibility. I like to show respect here at the end.
And now to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for both of these fighters. I got guys just watching this fight. We have a split decision. One judge scored it 29-28 for the red corner, Abbott. One judge scored it 29-28 for Sestock. And your third judge scored it 29-28 for your winner by split decision, fighting out of the blue corner, Mark, he took it away. What do you have to say?
I have to give a sincere thank you to two people individually. First, my head coach, Warren Stout, at Stout Training Pittsburgh. Without this guy, I would never have been really close to being here. And second, sincere thank you to an individual as my girlfriend, Natalie. Baby, I love you so much. You do everything for me. And overall, if you made the trip out here from Pittsburgh, just know that I love you and I think about you guys every single day. I love you guys. Thank you.
Mark, was he as tough as you expected him to be, or tougher?
He was, I knew I would have a bigger gas tank. That was just the game plan from get-go. But I knew his wrestling, he's a stud. He wrestled at Kentucky, I think. He's a great wrestler. It's about what I expected.
Let's hear it one more time for your winner by split decision, Mark the Maniac, Sestock, Pittsburgh 2, Cleveland nothing. Let's take it back to Grant and Charlie.
All right, what a fight we just had between Riley Abbott and Mark Sestock. That was an amazing decision, and I have to be honest with you, I'm pretty happy with it.
You know what? Both fighters laid it all on the table, and that's the thing. When you let it go to the judge's hand, you can say what you want, but I think the judges did their job. And, you know, it was a close fight, could have went either way. I'm glad I'm up here, and I'm glad the judges are down there.
Without a doubt. Now, I have to give props, though, to Mark Sestock. He got the decision. He got a split decision win, but he did it, I'm guessing, mostly through the submission attempts that he pulled. He did more damage in the third round, and that tied it up for him. That must have sealed the deal for him. But I will say the submission attempts were constant. It was beautiful.
Absolutely. He's a fighter that goes for it. Whether he's on his back or he's standing, he's going for it.
It's beautiful.
I hate to see the guy lose.
The Henzo Gracie team. That's what it is.
The second in a row. They're 2-0 tonight.
That's it. All right. Now a word from our sponsors.
Initiate countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off.
Introducing the new 2013 Yamaha Raptor 700R. The most powerful, best performing sport ATV on the planet. Now in 3 great models, all assembled in the US and all ready to launch.
Available at LoJack's Yamaha in Tarentum, 724-226-3727.
Everywhere you turn, people are working out, living a healthy lifestyle, and eating healthier foods. And there's no better way to kick off the new year than enjoying a mouth-watering Mona Lisa wrap for only $5.99. It's all made with the freshest ingredients and cooked to a healthy perfection. For only $5.99 and under 500 calories, the Mona Lisa wrap is a delicious way to keep your New Year resolution. Muscle Maker Grill. Great food with your health in mind.
Family owned and operated since 1956, Gillette Towing and Services are here for you. Our tow trucks operate 7 days a week, 24 hours a day when you need a tow. We offer hauling of heavy machinery and freight and can move oversized loads with escorts and cover all 48 lower states. Our excavation, demolition, and paving equipment can take care of any construction project you're working on, large or small. If your car needs repairs, we can handle mechanical as well as inspection and emissions. Call us today at 724-226-1222 or visit our website at rongiletteinc.com.
And welcome back, fight fans, to Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7, being held at the beautiful Hard Rock Casino in Northfield Park, Ohio. I'm here with Charlie Smith, and I'm Grant Berger, and we are just getting off of a beautiful split decision fight between Mark Sestock and Rally Abbott. Coming up next, we've got Justin Jarvis versus David Shim, an amateur fight at 155 pounds. What do you have to say, Charlie?
I'm excited. It's our first Cleveland versus Pittsburgh battle of the night, so I've been waiting for this. This is the rivalry really this card has been based around.
This absolutely is. Let's take a look at our tail of the tape, Charlie. How does that sound?
Let's do it.
We've got Justin Jarvis, 31 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, and 170 pounds. He has no record as of yet. That has nothing to do with his fighting style, though. We have David Shim here, 31 years old, 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at a svelte 176 pounds with a record of 0-1. His last fight was a loss to Jacob Estep via unanimous decision in May of 2010. So, although David Shim is 0-1, it's also been around 4 years since his last fight. So, that's not for nothing, if I'm right.
There may be a little jitters on both sides of this one.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next event is in the Gladiators of the Cage amateur welterweight division. Our fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 175 pounds, stands 5 feet 9, 31 years old, with a record of 0-1. He fights for Roman's Combatives and Dean Smith, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Dojo from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, representing Team Pittsburgh. He is the Raging Asian David Shim. And his opponent, 31 years of age, 170 pounds. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall with a reach of 78 inches. This is his amateur debut. He fights out of Cleveland for Team Cleveland. He's Justin the Savage Jarvis. The referee, Victor Van.
We're ready to square off, waiting on the referee.
Here we are, Justin Jarvis versus David Shim at Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7, and they touch gloves.
Cleveland versus Pittsburgh.
Oh. Wow, beautiful kick by Shim.
Both exchanging really heavy kicks.
It appears Jarvis getting a little wily, trying to get the flurry.
He's dropping those hands heavy. Shim, nice overhand right. Jarvis got to keep his hands up.
David Shim's kicks are really impressive in my opinion, Charlie.
Yeah, he's pressuring too. Both guys letting their hands a little bit lower than I would definitely like to see.
Jarvis appears to get a bit wily when coming in with the combination. I think Shim may be able to use that to his advantage.
Well, he's doing a great job with that front kick. Every time Jarvis wants to charge in, Shim throws that front kick and oh, big left hand. Hammer fist.
Wow.
Oh, it's over.
What a finish by David Shim. Wow. I cannot even.
What?
Was that a leg kick?
Oh, he set it up. He hit it with an overhand left, it looked like, and it really rocked him, and he smelled the blood in the water, and he took it to him.
David Shim with his first victory in 4 years, his first victory ever.
And
what an impressive performance tonight by David Shim out of Dean Smith's dojo.
Great job of preparation. That's what makes it all worth coming back right there, that feeling.
And that's what makes fighting in Ohio worth it as well. That finish may not have happened if we were fighting under Pennsylvania rules.
Grant, you're 100% right. That ground and pound, he took it to it right away and went to the head and worked a couple really good shots and a hammer fist. Great job of finishing.
Let's take a look at our instant replay.
Here comes Jarvis again, letting those hands down dangerously low like we talked about. Perfect shot by Shim, just time that you watch Jarvis's eyes just go up into his head. Shim then attacks, knowing, doing the ground and pound like he should, catches him with another shot, referee in. Great job by the referee to come in. He knows. Wow, good job, great finish.
Congratulations to David Shim on his win versus Justin Jarvis at Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7. And now to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Victor Van calls a halt to the action at 50 seconds of round 1. For your winner by TKO, fighting in the blue corner, the Raging Asian, David Shim. David, 3-0 Pittsburgh, congratulations.
Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You know, my wife supports me. She makes just, I love you.
Did anyone from Lee Smith's dojo or Roman's combatives prepare you to do this? This wasn't quick, this was sudden, my friend.
Just, yeah, man. I got good training partners.
Outstanding. Let's hear it one more time for your winner, the Raging Nation, Abbott, Shim. That makes us Pittsburgh 3, Cleveland nothing. Taking an early lead. Let's go back to our broadcast team of Charlie and Grant.
My jaw is on the floor after David Shim's performance.
Wow.
I had no idea that we were going to see a performance like that tonight. The way that he just hit his opponent in the eyes that rolled back in the head. I mean, what do you have to say about that, Charlie?
When I saw the hands dropping low, I was starting to get worried, and obviously Shim saw that and his corner saw that, and they said, throw the overhand left, and boy, he threw a perfect shot, connected, and when I call smelling the blood in the water, he went for the finish. And that, like you mentioned about the ground and pound here in Ohio, it allows you to do that, and he did not waste any time, Grant.
Absolutely. Kudos to Shim on his win. Wonderful KO. Now let's have a word from our sponsors.
Family owned and operated since 1956, Gillette Towing and Services are here for you. Our tow trucks operate 7 days a week, 24 hours a day when you need a tow. We offer hauling of heavy machinery and freight and can move oversized loads with escorts and cover all 48 lower states. Our excavation, demolition, and paving equipment can take care of any construction project you're working on, large or small. If your car needs repairs, we can handle mechanical as well as inspection and emissions. Call us today at 724-226-1222 or visit our website at rongiletteinc.com.
Train hard, look good, feel better.
Come to the rehab center.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7 here in beautiful Northfield Park, Ohio at the Hard Rock Casino. I'm Grant Berger, and with me is Charlie Smith. Say hello, Charlie.
Hello.
We just finished our last fight, David Shim versus Jarvis, and it was a very, very good fight. I would say that was a beautiful knockout. That was the first knockout that we had tonight. Coming up next, Alan Huffman and Cody Heyer. What do you have to say?
I'm ready for this fight also. Another training guy out of Pittsburgh. This is our second official match, Pittsburgh versus Ohio. Pittsburgh's looking to go 2-0.
I tell you what, let's take a look at the tail of tape. We've got Cody Heyer, 26 years of age, 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. He's got a 500 record of 1-1. Fighting Alan Huffman, 25 years of age, 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds, with an amateur record of 2 wins with 3 losses. Now, I got to say, I'm actually very excited about this Cody Heyer fight. We have a person who recently fought Cody Heyer earlier on in the event with Dion Goodlo. Heyer is a really high-level wrestler.
Very high-level wrestler. You know, it kind of gets overlooked because he has such a depth in his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but he wrestled with Division I champions, Olympic-level wrestlers, and he actually came out this way because he said, I want to better my game at and go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's actually becoming a city known for the quality of MMA, the fighters that they're putting out.
100%.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is in the Gladiators of the Cage amateur lightweight division. Going for 3-minute rounds. First fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 145 pounds, standing 5'6" with a record of 1-1. He's 26 years old and fights and represents Enzo Crazy Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA in Pittsburgh.
Here we go. Round one begins with referee Forrest Petz giving us the clap. Alan Huffman versus Cody Heyer. Huffman taking center cage right off the bat.
Yeah, feeling out process begins. Huffman wastes no time.
Now we all know it's not a big secret right now what Cody Heyer wants to do. It appears he wants to wrestle. He wants to get him down and he wants to beat him up. Could it be that Heyer wants him in the center of the cage for that takedown?
Well, absolutely, but Huffman's doing a really good job changing levels and working that jab. He wants to keep him at bay. He wants Heyer to come and shoot from a far distance, and that's exactly what he's doing. And Heyer's looking to slip under that and close the distance. So there's a lot of strategy going on here.
Absolutely. Beautiful lead uppercut coming off of Huffman. His left hand is very active, and he's doing a very good job of keeping Heyer away.
Nice. Huffman's got to just stay like he's doing in circling. He's now trying to stand in front, just change levels and circle. I think it's the game plan he's looking to implement.
Huffman circling and circling and eating a nice jab.
So it looks like Heyer's finally trying to get his rhythm and he's starting to get his distancing.
Now I have to say, I've noticed that Alan Huffman has thrown about 4 or 5 straight left hands to the belly. I would not be surprised if he was looking to set up a big bomb of a right hand off of that.
Yeah, and really no one's utilizing the leg kicks yet. Nice, good slip. Both fighters ducking under some punches there.
Cody Heyer looking patient, looking like he's circling in. He's closing the distance. He's moving forward.
Good job by Huffman, though, to change levels and throw that body shot just to keep him guessing.
Absolutely. He's really doing a great job hitting the body. He's landing almost all of those that he throws. And there comes the straight 1-2.
Yeah, that's what I've been waiting. Oh, good shot. Good exchange by Heyer. He's looking, it seems like he's trying to pick that one shot and then follow up with it.
I have to say, early on in this first round, I'm being pretty impressed by Alan Huffman. He's got some very stiff punches.
Yeah, I would like to see him follow it up with a 1-2-3. There you go. There's the 1-2. Great job by Heyer getting away from it. Another exchange.
Huffman with a 2-inch height and reach advantage over Heyer. Not much of a thing here, though, I would say.
Huffman can't get out of his game plan. He started off this fight by really kind of controlling the pace, and he doesn't want to start chasing Heyer. That's what Heyer's waiting for, so he can change levels and get that takedown, Grant.
Absolutely.
There's the first leg kick that we saw of the fight.
Huffman appears to have a bit of blood trickling out of his nose, but much ado about nothing, in my opinion.
Really surprised that Heyer hasn't even went for that big takedown. It looks like he's really relaxed and looking for that one perfect shot.
Heyer looking content to stand and trade.
10 seconds left, another good leg, caught the leg kick. Now he's gonna drive back. Can he get the takedown? He could possibly steal the round away with this takedown. Good job by Huffman with underhooks, and the round ends.
Uneventful first round is in the books between Alan Huffman and Cody Heyer.
No doubt they were both looking to get their game plan and their rhythm going.
You know, I'd have to say, it looked like both fighters were just in the middle of a feeling out process. They both know what they're coming to the table with. They're both ready for each other's moves. And I also want to point out once more, Mike Wilkins in the Stout Training Center team are facing their opponent away from, or their fighter away from the opponent in the cage.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great strategy because in amateur MMA, you're only allowed to have one guy in the cage with you. So what they're doing is turning the stool around so the second coach can talk to him also. So now you hear both people and you can focus on your guy. Smart move, and it's something that I think more fighters should do.
Real men of genius, Charlie, real men of genius. Mike Wilkins giving some advice to his fighter.
Remember how the last fight went, though, you know, with another stout-trained fighter. It went to that third round, and that's where that third round, the domination started coming over. And some would maybe say he stole that fight because of that third round, winning that split decision. So it seems they don't get rattled in these situations, Grant, that they just persevere and keep pushing through.
You know, for these kind of guys, you get a guy who's at a high enough level of fighting, and he's done this for long enough, it's just another day in the office.
It
and
really
I think that may be what they're trying to attain over at Stout Training Center. Very impressive.
All the way around.
Round two is beginning with Alan Huffman versus Cody Heyer.
Huffman closing the distance fast again, wanting to reestablish that rhythm and that pace. Keep Heyer backing up.
You know, Heyer has been fairly inactive. Here he got a double underhooks. He's going for a clinch.
This is dangerous for Huffman. He really needs to circle off. He can't stay engaged and just let his back up against that fence. I know it's easier said than done, but he's got to get that underhook in and try to spin higher up against the cage himself and then just go back to his game plan.
I have to say, it appears that Cody Hire isn't just looking for a takedown. He's looking for a big takedown.
Yeah, I think if he gets that right hand under the leg of Huffman, he's going to go way up in the air.
Beautiful shot to the body while trying to set that move up by Hire.
Huffman's got to circle off there. Seems like that takedown's going to be inevitable, but Huffman's doing a great job.
Knee to the groin by Hire. It did not appear intentional.
Oh. Huffman's just shaking it off. He's saying, let's go. Usually have 5 minutes, but Huffman's saying, you know what, it wasn't that bad. Let's keep fighting. I don't want to lose the rhythm.
I think he's just happy he got off the fence.
Honestly, in some way, that might have been a blessing in disguise for Huffman, because now he can try to implement. Nice 1, 2, 3. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see more of the combinations, and Huffman's now breaking that out.
It's only going to be a matter of Huffman getting into the rhythm and starting to throw those 2 and 3 punch combos.
Both guys are loading up. They're waiting for that one big shot, but they're really trying to be methodical about setting it up.
Now, I have to point out, if this is going to be Cody Hire's game plan, is to wait until the later rounds and then go for that takedown and go for whatever he wants to do, he had better be pretty confident that he can get a finish.
Well, that's just it. You know, if I'm a judge once again, which I'm glad I'm not, it's going to be tough not to give Huffman that first round. He seems to be dominating the presence of the cage. Hire just seems really intent on waiting to just sit back and throw something like that. That's what we need to see more by Hire.
Absolutely. In the absence of all other actions, you have to just take a look at the fight and say Alan Huffman has been in the center of the cage, controlling the movement, controlling the postures of the fight. I mean, that's worth something in my opinion.
Yeah, it's good to be really relaxed, but you can't be too content. A nice push. I'd like to see Hire push that up against the cage when he backs him up. That's the one move he needs to do, is just keep moving forward. Huffman may win this round just because he keeps moving forward, even though he isn't maybe landing that significant of shots.
Head movement started to become a little bit more prevalent in Huffman. Could that mean a couple flurries? And a big double leg by Hire.
Good job of Huffman fighting really hard. There's the takedown we've been waiting for by Hire.
Huffman needs to be careful of grabbing that fence.
We're going to see Huffman's abilities on the ground now with the ground and pound all legal here in Ohio.
I would say Alan Huffman's doing a really good job of holding on to Cody Hire right now, especially with 10 seconds left in the round.
And that's a big takedown at the end of the round. So how are the judges going to see that? Good job by both fighters.
Could the takedown have solidified the round for Cody Hire right now?
You know what? It very well possibly could have, because that was a powerful takedown, and he did something with it. He got a few punches in there. Huffman didn't just jump back up to his feet.
Absolutely. Like I said, in the absence of action, you have to look at what's happened already, and there wasn't a whole lot of exchanges going on there in the second round. Hire did get the takedown, and he was attempting a lot of takedowns.
Yeah, definitely so. If I'm the guy's corners right now, I'm telling them, this is your round. This fight could go either way. That could easily be split 50-50. You know, I'm saying go for it. Let's implement our game plan. Someone may have to take a risk here to get the reward at the end. What do you think, Grant?
I would say that's going to be a really, really something that's going to probably have to happen. I can't imagine either of these guys fighting it out to a decision and letting it go down that way. Alan Huffman obviously has got some power on the end of those stiff punches. He should be utilizing good straight punching techniques and counter punching to get around Cody Hire. Hire's game plan, without a doubt, is going to be to get the takedown, get the ground and pound finish, get the choke, do whatever he needs to do.
Huffman's been doing a good job keeping him at bay, using those long-range punches, the jab, to keep Hire from way back, so his shot would have to come from way out. But I think Hire is such a high level of wrestler that he can get this takedown if he just drives through and bullies through. And if I'm his corner, that's what I'm telling him here.
Absolutely. Both fighters approaching for round 3 between Alan Huffman and Cody Hire at Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7.
Pittsburgh looking to go up 2-0 in this grudge series. Alan Huffman not wanting that to happen. He's going to try to even up the score.
Huffman again in center cage.
Nice leg kick. I would have liked to see a little more of those in the first couple rounds. Now, both fighters we talked about, their corners. Oh, wow. Gets rocked by a big left hand. Hire's going to finish. Nice head movement by Huffman.
Huffman's got a tough face.
Now that's allowed Huffman to throw a couple punches back. This is what I think everyone's been wanting to see. They're letting their hands finally go. Both seem content on just throwing leather at this point, feeling each other out.
Huffman took a big shot there a second ago, and I can't believe he immediately recovered, especially after Hire fed him a second.
Seems like Huffman's just stalking him now, waiting to close that distance.
Huffman.
Nice slip under the punch there. Oh, Huffman eats another solid left.
I think it just looks to me, Charlie, like Huffman needs to be about 6 inches closer to his opponent.
I totally agree. And that's the respect he's given Hire for his wrestling ability. He doesn't want to get that close because he knows the takedown ability. He's already felt it in the second round.
Absolutely. It would be highly suggested that Hire goes in for a really nice takedown early on in this round, and he can hopefully get some work done.
Nice stiff jab, though, by Huffman. He keeps putting that pressure on. He's got to get under and around that left jab of Huffman to get that takedown. Hire circling, making Huffman attack him. This may give him the shot to do exactly that and get under a good body lock. Nice job by Huffman trying to control and put Hire back up against the cage.
And I have to point out, Huffman did just sprawl on Cody Hire, the Division I wrestler. Huffman, as far as I know, has no wrestling credentials. What could that mean? Aside from Huffman getting taken down just now.
It is so hard to stop a guy like Hire when he pushes you up against that fence. Huffman's got to work and get his back square up against the cage and allow himself to wall walk, as we call it in cage walk, and get himself back to his feet. He does not want the round to finish this way. Hire doing a good job getting his right leg passed on Huffman's left side. That kind of stalemates the submissions of Huffman. So now Huffman has to pop up on his hips, post that left hand up and stand up. There he goes.
There he goes.
Now he switched over his right hip, so that means he's going to push his right hip up. It's for Huffman to put his left hand on the mat and post himself up off this. Good job of fighting from the bottom. He's not just allowing Hire to just ride him and throw punches. He's keeping busy. So it's interesting, how are the judges going to see that, Grant?
I have to say that it's going to have to look a little bit better in Huffman's favor, in my opinion. Huffman obviously took the first round. He's being active off of his back, whereas Cody Hire is not really throwing a whole lot of shots.
And I think that's what won his training partner Sestock's fight. I think that's what won him that fight, is just staying busy on the bottom. Now Hire's finally throwing those punches.
Cody Hire content to lay in the guard of Alan Huffman. And that is it, folks. Alan Huffman versus Cody Hire is going to go to the judges.
Great show of respect, man. What sportsman here? You know, it's funny, you look at the expressions on these guys' faces, and it's just like, yeah, my job's over today. You know, how calm and how composed. I mean, they really are dedicated athletes.
Without a doubt, Alan Huffman looking very tough in his fifth fight here. I believe it's his first fight with Gladiators of the Cage. A little bit of blood on his nose, but none the worse for wear.
Yeah, I'll tell you, this is another tough one for the judges. I mean, how do you point? Who do you give points to, and for what on that? And the judges are going to look at this closely. I think there'll be a couple minutes here for a judge's decision because they're going to tally up those points and take into consideration everything.
Yes. Absolutely, I couldn't agree with you more. This is going to be a tough fight to judge, just like the last ones.
Here's one of the best shots tonight, that nice left hand, which he's been trying to set up all night. Huffman walked right in. That's why you never circle into the power of your opponent. As soon as he did it, Hire capitalized and threw that big right hand. And look how quickly he closes the distance on Huffman.
Oh, and if Cody Hire would have just had a bit more wind-up or a little bit better timing on that secondary punch, that could have been the one that would have put him out.
Yeah, no doubt. Huffman's definitely composed. He regathered himself, and I love the fact that he started gunslinging back. Good head movement. He didn't just stand up against the cage. He moved his head and ducked those punches.
Real maturity shown tonight by Alan Huffman in the cage.
We're ready now for the decision.
And now to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan.
Scored 30-27, 29-28, and 29-28 for a unanimous decision. For your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Cody Hire! Cody, I have a question for you. As a casual observer, I would have expected more ground and pound out of you. You did a lot of stand-up fighting. Was that the way you planned it, or were you just looking to pick your opportunity to take it to the ground?
I mean, I was definitely looking to pick my opportunity, but I felt pretty confident on the feet, so I decided to try to keep it there.
I'm glad I'm not one of the judges. That was a tough fight to call. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
All my coaches at Hendo Gracie Pittsburgh, everyone that sit there and grinds with me week in and week out, helping me get here.
Let's hear it one more time for your winner, Cody Hire! Pittsburgh 4, Cleveland nothing, but there's still 6 more fights to go. Let's take it back to our podcast team of Brent and Charlie.
there you have it, folks. We were just saying it's going to be a very difficult decision for the judges, and I'm not so sure how everybody feels about that decision, but it is what it is. Cody Heyer takes the win.
You know what? That's a close one. Once again, we're sitting up here. We see things, and the judges see something else sometimes. But I don't know. I'm not uncomfortable with that decision. You know, it seems like both guys really tried to implement their game plan. I think it was those takedowns by Heyer that really just made the finish.
I would say it would be the takedowns by Heyer, and I would say that Alan Huffman may have had a better game as far as the stiff punches and keeping him at distance, but Heyer did land that gigantic right hand. He landed 2 gigantic right hands. That could have pulled him the W.
I think that's really probably what pushed it over the edge. The takedowns really helped the cage domination, but those big shots, when you knock a guy down and you rock a guy, it sends a message to the judges, and I think that's what happened.
It does, and not only did he knock him down, he knocked him down and he followed on and tried to get the finish, and that's commendable in and of itself. Now a word from our sponsors.
Badass Pads, the new reusable motorcycle seat. Badass Pads use pressure-sensitive sticky gel to ensure no scratches, rings, or dents. Badass Pads also feature a gel and memory foam insert for maximum comfort. Application is easy. Simply remove the protective plastic and place on a clean, dry fender or rider seat. When done, replace the plastic and store for the next ride. Get your Badass Pad today. Available in 3 sizes at badasspads.com.
Train hard, look good, feel better.
Come to the rehab center.
Everywhere you turn, people are working out, living a healthy lifestyle, and eating healthier foods. And there's no better way to kick off the new year than enjoying a mouth-watering Mona Lisa wrap for only $5.99. It's all made with the freshest ingredients and cooked to a healthy perfection. For only $5.99 and under 500 calories, the Mona Lisa wrap is a delicious way to keep your New Year resolution. Muscle Maker Grill. Great food with your health in mind.
Welcome back, fight fans. What a wonderful event we've had in so far tonight, Charlie. I got to say, very impressive fights by the amateurs. Up next, we've got John Durham versus Cullen Phillips. I tell you what, would you like to look at the tail of the tape?
I'm ready for the tail of the tape, Grant.
Let's see it. Cullen Phillips, 32 years of age. He is 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds with an even record of 2 wins and 2 losses. Fighting John Durham, only 19 years of age, 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 144 pounds with an undefeated record of 4 wins with 0 losses.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next event is in the Gladiators of the Cage Amateur Featherweight Division, calling for 3 3-minute rounds. First we have fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 144 pounds. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. He's 32 years old with a record of 2 wins, 2 losses. He represents Pender MMA, fighting out of Pittsburgh, 14 Pittsburgh, Cullen Slam Jim Phillips. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 144 pounds. He's 5 feet 5 inches tall, with an undefeated record of 4 wins, no losses. He represents Clemens MMA and Jiu-Jitsu from Van Wert, Ohio, John the Bull Durham.
Great ovation for John Durham in his hometown.
John the Bull Durham versus Cullen Slam Jam Phillips, getting ready to start now. And they're off.
Once again, the great show of sportsmanship, touching gloves.
I always like to see who goes ahead and tries to take center cage right off the bat. To me, that can be a huge deciding factor as far as who's going to have their opponent pivot around them in the cage.
What's really interesting, I noticed, Grant, John's wearing more of like a Muay Thai style trunk, and he's won all of his matches by submission. And there's the Muay Thai he's showing off. It looks like he's wanting to show that off now. Great low kicks, nice, beautiful, beautiful takedown. Trying to control it now. Durham in tight on that body lock. Strong takedown, one of the best takedowns so far of the night.
Almost no resistance from Phillips on that takedown. Durham making it look easy.
He's staying in close. He's keeping Phillips back to the mat.
Look for Durham to pass to hopefully side mount or mount and do a little bit of work from the top.
Good job keeping. When he got that takedown, he landed in half guard. Saved himself a lot of work. Instead of landing in full guard, he was allowing himself now to get to this position. He seemed to pass, and now he's in half guard with a tight body lock up top.
Durham very slowly posturing his jiu-jitsu. Could he be looking for some sort of a slow move submission?
Well, it looks like he's trying to trap Phillips' left arm and look for that Kimura. Phillips doing a good job rolling and trying to push through. Looks like a tight guillotine here by both guys. They're both got an overload hook on the head.
I would say if anyone could finish this, it would be Durham, and it is indeed.
Phillips doesn't have an arm in. He's got him.
And it's over. There's the tap, ref.
Oh, the ref couldn't see it on the other side. Durham, what a sportsman.
John Durham by submission in the first round again.
5-0, all submissions, Grant.
This fight had to have been tailor-made for a guy like John Durham with his smaller limbs and his little muscular body choking on the long neck of Cullen Phillips.
He even fooled us on that fight. Looked like he was going to come out to strike and then implemented his game plan when the other guy engages with the striking.
Very clever technique with those shorts.
Great job.
I said we go ahead and have a look at the replay. Now we notice that Durham has a guillotine as well as Phillips. Notice though, John Durham is able to pull the guard, and anyone who knows jiu-jitsu knows you are only going to be offensive from the guard, not from in the guard.
Great job. Phillips ideally wants to get his left hand and jammed it in there between the right hand and the body of Durham, and he just can't do it, and a quick tap out. The referee couldn't see it on the other side, but Durham, what a sportsman, felt the tap and said, I'm letting it go, because if not, he's going to sleep.
And now to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner in 1 minute, 45 seconds of round number 1 by guillotine choke, fighting out of the red corner, John "The Bull" Durham.
What an impressive
John, you broke the seal, so to speak. One for Cleveland.
Let's do it, right? Come on, guys,
How great does this feel? Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank Justin Clemens for everything he does. I think it's ready for a pro fight. I don't know yet, because August 2nd, I got to take on a tough guy for a belt. So after that, I'm thinking about going pro.
Outstanding. So one more fight, and you turn pro? You have one more fight, then you turn pro. That's the goal. Let's hear it one more time. He's now fighting on John "The Bull" Durham. Let's say it back to Charlie and Grant, our broadcast team.
John Durham moving on now to an undefeated 5-0 as an amateur. All wins by submission. Very impressive.
He fooled me. I'll tell you, I thought he was really going to come out and try to highlight his stand-up, and you know what? As soon as that fight went to the ground, he went right back to the submissions, where it seems to be his bread and butter, and boy, did he finish strong.
I have to say, I almost wished I could have seen his stand-up. That fight ended so fast, but we did get to see Durham display a couple of really nice lead leg kicks.
No doubt.
I mean, that's the kind of thing that you want to see a fighter do.
He's becoming a mixed martial artist. That's what it's all about. Knowing not just one game, but implementing them all, and then setting up your game plan by using the other strategies.
Absolutely, and by grabbing a hold of the neck, seeing the choke, and going 100% full bore.
He's a finisher, and that's what I love about this kid. He wants to finish, and that's to me, that's the heart of a fighter.
And my favorite part about this is the next time he fights for Gladiators of the Cage, I don't even have to change my notes. He's still undefeated, all wins by submission, all impressive wins. What are you going to do?
He's making our job easy, Grant.
All right, now how about we have a word with our sponsors. Up next, we're going to be having Josh Roller and Chris Teague. Now for our word from our sponsors.
Initiate countdown. 5,
Introducing the new 2013 Yamaha Raptor 700R. The most powerful, best performing sport ATV on the planet. Now in 3 great models, all assembled in the US and all ready to launch.
Available at LoJack's Yamaha in Tarentum, 724-226-3727.
Everywhere you turn, people are working out, living a healthy lifestyle, and eating healthier foods. And there's no better way to kick off the new year than enjoying a mouth-watering Mona Lisa wrap for only $5.99. It's all made with the freshest ingredients and cooked to a healthy perfection. For only $5.99 and under 500 calories, the Mona Lisa wrap is a delicious way to keep your New Year resolution. Muscle Maker Grill. Great food with your health in mind.
Welcome back, fight fans, to Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7 in beautiful Northfield Park, Ohio, at the Hard Rock Casino. I'm Grant Berger. With me is Charlie Smith.
Grant, how are you this evening?
I'm doing quite well. Coming up next, we have a fight between Josh Roller and Chris Teague, 2 amateur fighters in the 155-pound division.
They both started their career this year, and boy, both perfect, 3-0. This couldn't be a better or more even matched up, in my opinion.
So I have that literally both of these guys have finished all 3 of their opponents on the way to their undefeated record. That means no decisions, all finishes. I can't quote that they would be all been in the first round, but they are all definitely finishes, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the cage tonight.
Yeah, I don't think either guy's going to pull any punches. They want to keep that perfect streak intact, and I think Ohio's looking for their second victory tonight.
Josh Roller, 26 years of age, 5 feet 8 inches tall, 155 pounds, with an undefeated record of 3 wins with 0 losses. Fighting Chris Teague, 24 years of age, 5 feet 8 inches, weighing in another 155 pounds, also undefeated with a record of 3 wins and 0 losses.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next event is in the Gladiators of the Cage amateur lightweight division, going for 3 3-minute rounds. And this next event features 2 undefeated fighters with records of 3-0. First, fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 155.5 pounds, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall. Previously mentioned a record of 3-0. He fights for GOTC MMA from Greensville, South Carolina, drafted in Team Pittsburgh. It's Chris Franchise Teague. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 154.5 pounds, 5 feet 8 inches tall with a 68-inch reach, 3 wins, no losses. Representing Rock Hard MMA from Coventry, Ohio, for Team Cleveland, it's Josh Roller. The referee, Forrest Betts.
What an ovation for Roller, Grant. Literally half the arena was standing for him.
Getting ready to start the first round between Josh Roller and Chris Teague. What an exciting fight. And they're off in the glove touch. Here's the feeling out portion.
That's my kind of feeling out portion right there, Grant. Great takedown.
Teague immediately with the takedown right into the center of the cage. This is where a submission artist wants to get the takedown. I got to say that. You don't want to be up against the fence where you can give your opponent an opportunity to wall walk.
And Teague, look how quickly he's just staying in a defensive position. He locks a body triangle on. It looks like he's almost content to hold this and keep anything from happening and just keep it rolling out.
Teague looking to work some ground and pound. Now I have to say I'm a big fan from Roller of that body triangle, but it leaves you susceptible to ground and pound.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the Roller with that body triangle really worked his way up great. As soon as he felt an opportunity, I think he kind of baited to get up to his feet with that body triangle.
Look at these two warriors.
Oh, big shots being thrown. Every shot these guys are throwing has bad intentions written all over it.
If you didn't know any better, you would not be able to guess that both of these fighters made both of their debuts in less than a year ago.
Wow.
Roller is not playing around.
No, he anytime he gets a little bit of space, he's letting his hands fly.
Teague with a beautiful reversal, but Roller is unfazed.
Roller's going for an upside down triangle. Teague's got to be very careful. Roller's actually got a triangle choke from the top.
Wow.
Upside down.
Teague's balancing on his head.
Holding his left arm out. If Roller can pull this off, he's really close here. Teague's doing a great job of fighting, but Roller's got that cinched in really, really tight. If he can reach down and grab his own ankle.
If I were his coach right now, I would be telling Roller, attack his right arm, attack his right arm.
Oh, great job by Teague gutting it out. Roller's unrelenting, staying on top. He's going for it again.
Whether or not this is an effective submission right now, he is wearing on Chris Teague. He is laying on top of him with his shin in his throat.
Yeah, he's not just content of trying to sprawl. He's actually looking to finish the fight from any position possible.
Very impressive. Could Roller end up on his back? Oh my goodness, he's holding on to Teague's body and floating in midair.
Unbelievable. Roller is levitating right now. Great job of staying
Teague
close.
with is that the mount? Working on the ground and pound.
Look how quick Roller, as soon as he has a chance, reverses it. Now he's going to try to press in and push Teague up against the fence and get that takedown.
Ten seconds left in the round. The fight between Josh Roller and Chris Teague.
Teague's trying to finish this fight with a choke. I think he's just going to run out of time. Good job by both guys.
Wonderful first round by Josh Roller and Chris Teague. Both fighters looking fresh in their corners, receiving instructions from their cornermen and coaches.
Man, I'll tell you what, both guys are gunslingers. You can already see the left eye of Roller starting to swell up a little bit, but that didn't slow him down one bit, it did it, Grant?
No, I would say it did not. Josh Roller is going for it. I mean, every time he got his hands to touch Chris Teague, he was trying to finish him in some way or another.
Roller also could be candidate for hair of the night also.
Absolutely. Roller's hair, I would say that both of their hair is equally worthwhile for the candidacy.
This is an equal match on every level. What do you think right now the corners are saying to both men?
You know, if I were Chris Teague's cornerman right now, I would say don't worry so much about getting that takedown because he's getting caught in a lot of trouble rolling around on the ground with Roller. I would say you were having some success standing up. Try and stay away, keep the distance, and pick him apart.
Yeah, it really is hard to see any weakness in Roller right now, but Teague has been able to land.
Round two beginning, Josh Roller versus Chris Teague.
See if the pace slows.
Roller with a nice inside leg kick, taking control of center cage.
Roller going right back at it, smothering Teague, looking for that clinch. Nice separation, nice knee on that separation by Teague.
Fighters posturing, circling, considering their options.
Nice. Roller switching up, working legs, and going high. Good head movement by Roller. Now he engages. Oh, Teague may have caught him. Roller back to his feet really quick.
Roller is throwing heat at Teague. Every one of his punches, you can look and see his white mouthpiece from him gritting his teeth with the throw.
Roller got tagged to get, oh, good overhand right by Roller. Teague now working his left hook.
Beautiful knee to the body by Teague.
Both guys really showing some respect. Backing off for a second, saying, you ready to do this again? And they're going to start engaging.
Teague pawing with the jab. Roller likely looking to counter.
Roller's been keeping his head moving. Oh, moved right into that one, though. Oh, good straight punches by Roller, getting him up against the fence. Teague using good underhooks to get a couple knees. Roller cinches down, gets both legs. Teague's gonna get control of the head, but Roller,
big single leg.
Down.
And Teague is right back up. These guys are mad.
Oh, good knee to the body by Teague.
Knee to the body.
Teague with a good tie clinch. They separate. They're going to stare each other down again. They're going to say, let's do this again. Square him right back off in the center of the cage, Grant. Oh, big overhand right.
My, oh my. Another knee to the body by Teague.
Oh,
Roller's got to be feeling that.
Oh, Roller with a big overhand right. Another huge knee by Teague. Now he hits the knee to the body.
Teague is doing some real damage to Roller's midsection here in the second round.
Roller's got to keep pushing in. If he can get this takedown and get to a dominant position. But Teague doing a great job of keeping the pressure, working underhooks. Another knee to the body.
I love that Teague is throwing the knees to the body this way, and Roller's going for the foot stomps.
Roller has went literally from head to toe, trying to get Teague with anything he can. He just goes for it. Another good knee by Teague.
Knee to the leg by Roller. What a back and forth battle in so far, Charlie.
Teague didn't like that. He backed Roller up immediately after that inside leg kick. Roller gets the back, 10 seconds left around. Great
Beautiful takedown.
Belly to back suplex. Now he's got control in the center of the cage.
Mere seconds left.
What a battle.
What a finish to a second round. Josh Roller having a huge belly to back suplex.
Non-stop action, Grant, the whole time.
I wish I had been counting. It appears Chris Teague may have kneed Roller in the belly upwards of 15 times in that last round.
I know neither guy's going to want this to go to decision. And if it did go to the decision, this fight, I definitely don't want to be a judge on, Grant.
I would not want to be a judge, but I will feel honored to have been able to watch it.
I'm just glad we're having a third round. This is the kind of fight you don't want to see end.
Teague, with his forehead resting on his cornerman's, on his chest, looks a little bit exhausted right now. Roller breathing deep.
Anxious to see a little closer view of Roller's eyes. Cornerman's head's kind of blocking it there, but if we can see his left eye, it was already looked like it was swelling after the first round, and we'll see how much that plays in just with his peripheral vision when he's moving left to right. Both of these warriors are not letting go. And this is what Gladiators of the Cage is really made of, Grant.
What will happen in this third round, Charlie? What would you tell your fighter if you were cornering him? This was your fight. You had one of these opponents. What would you say?
You've got to win this round. You've got to do what we've been training, and you just got to go for it, because really it's been a gunslinging battle the whole time. Finish strong, stick to the technique.
Do or die.
Exactly. I wouldn't let this go to the judges.
Round 3 is about to begin between Josh Roller and Chris Teague here at Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7. The fighters touch glove and both are breathing heavily.
Nice
inside leg kick by Josh Roller.
Good job. Teague looking to exchange. Another inside leg kick. Every time he hits that inside leg kick, Teague comes over the overhand. Now Roller backing him up. Oh, Teague falls.
Could this be it?
Roller's throwing some heavy leather. The crowd's on their feet. Roller finish. He's looking to finish.
What a tough opponent in Teague, holding on, trying to get a hold of a sweep from the half guard.
Now Roller's still throwing that left hand, and every time he throws something, it's with bad intentions. Teague doing a great job, though, trying to secure full guard, using the cage with his feet to try to press off and maybe try to roll out of Roller's positioning.
Teague having getting knocked down, and he's already back to pulling full guard.
Great job by Teague.
And I want to say again, both of these fighters have made their debuts within the last year. This is amazing.
It really is. It shows what a testament to their will and their training and their partners.
Roller working some real ground and pound from inside the guard of Teague.
Starting to see Teague's legs move up every time Roller starts throwing those heavy leathers. If Teague's going to try for that armbar, that triangle choke. Like to see the referee stand him up here if we don't get much more action. These are the kind of guys you just want to see square off one more time.
I would say halfway through this last round, that wouldn't be a bad decision.
Roller's saying, no, I'm liking this position. I'm going to land a couple more shots.
Roller's staying active. I see no reason to stand him up if he continues to land this ground.
He's got to stay active. He's got Teague's head up against the cage. It's not a favorable position at all for Teague. Teague's got to start moving. Good job. Good job by the referee to let this one get back to the feet. I like that call, Grant.
1 minute left in the third round, and the fighters are standing up. Let's see what could happen. Could Roller throw heavy leather on the tired Teague, or could Teague counter?
Another inside leg kick. Nice exchange. Roller's backing him up again. Teague's wobbly.
Teague and Josh Roller are monsters in this cage tonight.
Great knee by Teague. He's been utilizing that all night to slow Roller and stop that takedown. Teague's still using that knee, looking to keep, Roller cannot get that takedown. Teague using that knee in a great way.
Foot stomp by Roller. 15 seconds left in the last round, and he still wants to break Teague's feet.
These guys go to finish. I think no matter what happens, I think both of these guys are going to be upset if they don't get the finish. Roller going for a single, goes for the ankle pick. Teague defending well. What a fight, Grant.
Oh my. I would say that this was a pleasure to watch them fight just now.
By looking at the crowd, I don't think there's one disappointed fan in the arena right now, Grant.
Absolutely. The crowd is on their feet. Both fighters are taken to their corner.
Standing ovation for both guys.
What heart displayed. Roller sitting in his corner. He definitely put on his show. He has every right to have a seat.
Wow. The judges also have a hard job tonight.
Let's have a look at the instant replay, Charlie, and see how it worked.
I'm all for that, Grant. What a fight.
Here we see Roller with another inside leg kick.
Looks like Teague's trying to time it and counter punch, and when he does that, Roller just starts bombarding him and driving forward. Good overhand by Teague.
I love that Roller continued to throw the inside leg kick to knock Teague's hands apart.
It's like if Roller gets hit once, Roller wants to hit you 10 times in response to that, and he just drives forward.
My goodness.
Great job, Teague, trying to defend those punches, but Roller just so hard to keep off you.
A very impressive performance tonight by both fighters at Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7. And now for our official decision, our ring announcer, Dan Bogan.
Ladies and gentlemen, does anyone disagree? This was the fight of the night so far. Let's hear it from all these guys. I am glad I'm not a judge. We have a split decision. Judge Justin Floor scores it 29-28 for the blue corner, Chris Teague. Judge Karen Rocco scores it 29-28 for the red corner. Josh Roller. And Judge John Belts scores it 30-27 for your winner. Fighting out of the red corner, Aaron Jeffrey. Your winner by split decision. Let's hear it from both of these fighters. Aaron, I know you don't want to stay here much longer. That was the fight of the night. Talk about it.
God's grace. That's all I can say.
He took you to the limit, vice versa. There were times in the first round that could have went either way. You fought one hell of a fight. Is there anyone you'd like to thank?
I'd like to thank the Lord. I wouldn't be here without him. Thank you all my friends and family. God first and foremost.
Thank you very much. Let's hear it for your winner, the Adonis, Aaron Jeffrey.
Wow.
I'm sorry, my mistake. Josh Roller. Rock and Roller, my mistake.
Yep.
I would say as of right now, that would be my #1 candidate for fight of the night, Charlie.
I think I'd be hard-pressed, or anyone in this arena would be hard-pressed to disagree with that, Grant.
That was just amazing. Both fighters approached center cage numerous times over and over and over again, stood directly in front of each other, and proceeded to beat each other up pretty good.
And they really literally went from head to toe. They didn't stop. Anywhere they found an opening, they was willing to throw there, nonstop.
We had submission attempts. We had an upside-down triangle attempt. We had foot stomps, knees to the belly, punches to the face, ground and pound. What an event.
No doubt. I can't wait. We got 4 more fights left on this card.
Absolutely we do. Coming up next is going to be our middleweight title fight for the Gladiators of the Cage middleweight belt in the amateur division. It is going to be Dan Kakuda versus Aaron Jeffrey. Very exciting fight for everyone.
Yeah, really, and we got to watch these guys grow.
Dan Kakuda is one of my personal favorite local fighters to watch. He's a very experienced fighter. He's our middleweight champion for Gladiators of the Cage. What else can you say about that?
I think that says it all, Grant. You know, really, I mean, to win that belt is not an easy task, and you see the type of talent that we have. There's not been one-sided fight tonight.
Absolutely. So, coming up next, we've got Aaron Jeffrey versus Dan Kakuda for the middleweight title belt, and now for a word from our sponsors.
Badass Pads, the new reusable motorcycle seat. Badass Pads use pressure-sensitive sticky gel to ensure no scratches, rings, or dents. Badass Pads also feature a gel and memory foam insert for maximum comfort. Application is easy. Simply remove the protective plastic and place on a clean, dry fender or rider seat. When done, replace the plastic and store for the next ride. Get your Badass Pad today. Available in 3 sizes at badasspads.com.
Train hard, look good, feel better.
Come to the rehab center.
My name is Dan Kakuda. I'm the current Gladiators of the Cage amateur middleweight champion. I'm 4-0 right now. I'll be defending my title on Saturday the 19th up at the Hard Rock Rocksino against Aaron Jeffrey. Is a bit more experienced than me in MMA. It's the 7-1 record, so it should be a decent challenge for me this time. 34 years old. Been doing martial arts for probably about 22 years. First and foremost, before being a fighter or anything else I do, I'm an artist. And that's what I look at it when I fight. When I train, it's self-expression to me in its purest form. I currently fight out of Wright's Gym. My team is Pittsburgh Muay Thai, which we train at Wright's Gym. That's our exclusive location. When I do hear fans that are actually cheering for me specifically, it makes me feel like I'm appreciated. I said I just really enjoy what I do. So when I go out there, I'm pretty much calm. I'm relaxed. I'm laid back. A lot of times I'll be sleeping before the fight.
Look how calm he is. He's just moving, he's just flowing through it. Good foot jab.
First of all, my biggest sponsor and the biggest members of my team are my kids. Gabe, Lex, my daughter Taylor, my grandson Mason. Yeah, I'm a granddad.
Mr. Dan Kakuda!
He's just, look at it, just smooth,
moving his head back and forth. Oh, and he hits with the left.
Fighting out of the blue corner, Dan, the bionic fist of justice, Kakuda!
Welcome back, fight fans, to Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7 in beautiful Northfield Park, Ohio at the Hard Rock Casino. Coming up next is our middleweight title belt for the amateur division on Gladiators of the Cage. This is going to be Aaron Jeffrey coming from Ontario, Quebec, Canada versus Dan Kakuda coming out of New York City, New York by way of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Another one of those interesting fights. Great records. Both fighters always bring it. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Dan Kakuda currently sporting an undefeated record with 4 wins and 0 losses. Very impressive for a man who's 34 years of age.
Right.
The age discrepancy right now between Jeffrey and Kakuda, there's a 13-year age gap. I'm very excited to see how that's going to play out, as Kakuda is probably the most relaxed fighter in this league.
And Aaron Jeffrey is actually more experienced with 8 fights, 7-1.
Absolutely. I would like to see how that's going to play out. Aaron Jeffrey also came all the way from Ontario, Quebec, Canada. We'll see if that would have any effect on him, possibly the driving and the travel here mid-weight cut. This is an amateur fight, and I know that they didn't get a 24-hour allowance for the weight cut. I'd like to see how that plays out with the travel.
No doubt. And, you know, being the belt on the line, people are traveling from a long distance to come here and see this match.
Absolutely. Aaron Jeffrey and Dan Kakuda. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Dan Kakuda, 34 years of age, 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 183 pounds, 2 pounds underneath the 185-pound weight limit, with an undefeated record of 4 wins with 0 losses. Taking on Aaron Jeffrey, 21 years of age, 6 feet 2 inches tall, 3 inches taller than Kakuda, weighing in at 185 pounds with a record of 7 wins and 1 loss.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is our amateur main event of the evening, and it's for the Gladiators of the Cage Middleweight Championship of the World. Fights, our challenger, weighing out of the red corner, he weighed in 185 pounds. He stands 6 feet 2 with a record of 7-1. He represents Team Ascension from Dillonsburg, Ontario, Canada, the Adonis, Aaron Jeffrey, and his opponent, the reigning Gladiators of the Cage middleweight amateur champion of the world. He weighed in at 183 pounds, 5 feet 11, with a 72-inch reach. He's undefeated at 4-0. He fights for Pittsburgh Muay Thai and ranks Gym. He's from New York, by way of Pittsburgh. He is Dan, the bionic fist of justice, Kakuda. Let's get their final instructions. The referee can get dressed up.
It's just something about a title fight that changes the atmosphere.
Things are a bit more solemn now as we're awaiting the first round of Aaron Jeffrey v. Dan Kakuda. And the title fight is underway. First round beginning. Jeffrey circling around Kakuda, who has now taken center cage.
Jeffrey already circling away from the power of Kakuda. He does not want to circle into that powerful leg kick by Kakuda. Kakuda realizing that and already throwing the left leg, the front leg, to stop him from circling. Good inside leg kick by Jeffrey.
And look at the relaxed position of Kakuda's head. He likes to move his head, but he likes to be relaxed and just kind of flow. And I really love watching that style of fighting, and it's really good for the cardio of a guy like Dan Kakuda.
It really is.
It's like this, the old saying goes, slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Oh, great front Teague.
Right back
Good
up by
catch by
Kakuda.
Jeffrey. Nice takedown. Hold him up against the cage. Jeffrey recovering fast, using the cage to get up.
Kakuda now with his back against the fence and a whizzer.
Jeffrey trying to get his head free. Good job controlling him. Still working those knees on Kakuda.
Aaron Jeffrey with a nice swan-style grip on Kakuda's neck. Throwing knees to the body and hopefully the legs. There it is.
Kakuda remaining very, very calm here. Looking to pick his shots. Working the body, trying to hit the ribs. Jeffrey, though, keeping the pace, pushing him up against the cage.
It's so hard to tell with a guy like Dan Kakuda. He's a very dominant champion.
but he's so relaxed in the cage. You can't exactly tell if he's feigning or if he's actually being hurt or if he's getting tired. I would say at this point in the fight, he's just relaxing.
I think that's what makes him so dangerous. Grant, he lulls you to sleep, and then all of a sudden he explodes. Jeffrey doing a really good job using his height to dominate positioning.
Beautiful duck under by Kakuda.
Oh, Kakuda's looking for a big
arm triangle.
He's going to keep working those knees in that Muay Thai clinch. And if it goes to the ground, he'll go for the side choke. But he loves that high clinch position with his Muay Thai background. Good throw by Kakuda.
Beautiful trip.
Powering through it. Working the body hard. This is where you do not want to be with Kakuda. If you're Jeffrey, you have to do exactly what he does. Push him back up against the cage, regroup and hold him and work those knees. Jeffrey doing a good job driving his head in his form and making it so uncomfortable for Kakuda to land anything big.
Kakuda taking a lot of knees to the midsection. Jeffrey has a hold of a single leg. Hopefully he can pull Kakuda off the fence, give him the whip, and get him down.
Oh, good jumping knee by Kakuda. Just when you think you have Kakuda in a position he can't do anything, he does something like that. He lulls you in.
Kakuda's got a deep
crucifix.
headlock.
He's got a crucifix on him, and that's so deep. Oh, you know, the bell may have saved Jeffrey there. That was an extremely tight crucifix choke. Rarely do you see that, but it shows how well balanced Kakuda is.
That is an old school choke. I can't even tell you the last time I've seen an actual crucifix being used as a submission.
Oh, wow. Great job of going for it.
Both fighters looking fresh in the corners.
Very relaxed still. There looks like there's no worry on either fighter's face. Both regrouping. Another really good first round, Grant.
Absolutely. Dan Kakuda is just an impressive fighter all around. He's a Pittsburgh local, and he's somebody that everybody around Pittsburgh wants to see fight.
No doubt.
And it's just like you said, Kakuda will lull you to sleep, and then he'll take care of business that way. He ended that round with a crucifix choke, and he looked like he was relaxed the entire time leading up to that.
Well, if there's anyone that seemed on this card tonight to live by the philosophy of Bruce Lee and become like water, he does it. He's just so fluent, and he molds and lets the opponent get aggressive and just molds to it, and then he throws in his game plan and implements it.
Absolutely. And that's not something that you see often from a 34-year-old fighter who's 4-0.
No, great composure on both guys.
Second round underway between Aaron Jeffrey and Dan Kakuda for the Gladiators of the Cage amateur middleweight belt.
No, I really think Kakuda's setting up a big kick.
Kakuda likes to rechamber that leg after the kick. I want to see what he's getting ready to do.
Oh, big takedown attempt, but look, he got his head caught. Jeffrey got his head caught, and Kakuda's not letting that go. Jeffrey needs to pull his head out. Good job by Jeffrey, squaring back up, working the body as soon as he gets the chance, and now a couple of heavy shots to the head of Kakuda.
This may be something that we have not seen Dan Kakuda have to deal with. The smothering of a wrestler and the ground and pound of a true ground and pound artist. Right now, it looks like Jeffrey's got Kakuda's right leg trapped in a sitting half guard position for the ground and pound.
A lot of guys really like that position because they can really well punches. It makes it so difficult to reach down and push that knee back of your opponent who's on top. Nice elbow got through there on Kakuda.
Kakuda's still looking ultra relaxed in this position.
He really is. It's very odd, but it's just like, it's not affecting him whatsoever. He's going to work. He's going to try to get up, and he's just waiting for one little mistake to capitalize. Jeffrey doing a good job keeping pressure and another good hand, but
Aaron Jeffrey's doing a great job of keeping Dan Kakuda down.
Yeah, he really is. And Kakuda has really good hips to get back up with his Muay Thai background especially. Jeffrey's really laying in some leather though now. Good hammer fist.
I mean, you have to wonder how much a guy like Dan Kakuda can take on the ground. We haven't seen him be challenged that much in this respect, but I would like to know, is it possible? Is it possible to take Dan Kakuda out that way, or will he snake back up to the standing position and float over and knock out Jeffrey later on in this fight?
It's a good question. It's wondering if he's just lulling you in again, pulling you into his game plan, and then all of a sudden he throws something like a crucifix choke.
Absolutely, and we saw in his last fight, he can win by submission. He has that in his pocket.
The dangerous thing about that, he finished with an arm triangle on the ground, but he was using it on the feet to knee the guy to the body.
I was highly impressed by that. Kakuda is putting together the connection between Muay Thai and grappling.
Good job by Jeffrey, posturing and big shots to the ribs of Kakuda. Nice overhand left.
Aaron Jeffrey seems to be decoding the Dan Kakuda bionic fist of justice.
Kakuda, good job of Kakuda getting the leg under, getting one butterfly, now closing the guard. That's going to save him some big shots, hopefully. He needs to work to his feet here. Jeffrey doing a good job of controlling the pace of the fight. It's going to be interesting. Jeffrey's trying to pass. Kakuda doing a good job with his left leg, keeping him from passing.
Absolutely. If I were Kakuda, with the length of his legs and his height, I would be trying to keep myself closer to the center of the cage. I'd have a hard time seeing him wall walking with Jeffrey laying on him that way.
I think Kakuda's gonna push off here at the waist. He needs to push him away. Good job of Jeffrey slipping out, sensing that, landing a couple big, heavy left hands to finish out the round. Kakuda's in trouble. Good job.
Wow, what a way to finish round 2.
And Kakuda still looks relaxed.
Dan Kakuda sauntering back to his corner, waiting it out. Aaron Jeffrey with no stool, choosing instead to sit against the fence.
It almost looked there like Kakuda walking back to his corner almost had a snarl on his face, like, okay, this third round, we're changing it up.
Let's have a look at an instant replay, Charlie, and see what we're working with here in the second round.
Here's some of the big shots at the end of the round. I thought Kakuda was gonna push him off and use those feet and just throw Jeffrey back. But Jeffrey sensing that, passing the guard, passing the legs, and then watch these shots he lands at the end of the round. Heavy, heavy hammer fist shots, making every one of them count. Once again, the ground and pound being
in my
very
opinion,
effective.
Those may have been the only shots insofar that Dan Kakuda did not expect.
Yeah, once he passed that guard and passed the legs, Jeffrey knew what to do with it, and he really went for it.
Wonderful knee positioning as well by Jeffrey. What instincts to trap the head of Kakuda and throw the hammer fist.
No doubt. You just keep telling Jeffrey do more of the same, Grant?
I would say so. I mean, his game plan is working very well right now. I know Kakuda has a chance to get off some punches, but he hasn't done it yet. Can he go this last round without Kakuda doing it?
My thoughts are Kakuda's going to be looking for that one big shot. Nice leg check. Eats that one. Jeffrey's got to be careful. He quit circling. Jeffrey quit circling, and he's straight ahead engaging. That's really dangerous, Kakuda. I think he's got his confidence, though, and thinks that he can take Kakuda down again and keep grinding out Kakuda. Good body lock. This could be trouble for Kakuda if Jeffrey's able to finish.
Look for the belly to belly.
Good knee to the body by Jeffrey.
Jeffrey staying very active with his strikes to the legs and body. The knees are adding up over the last 3 rounds. He's got to be doing some damage to Kakuda.
Kakuda's got to push him off or circle off that fence, obviously. He cannot stay up against that cage and take those shots.
Jeffrey is feeding a slurry of left uppercuts to Kakuda in the clinch.
And he's working the knees, too. He's scoring both top and bottom. He's keeping Kakuda thinking. He's smothering him up against the cage. Kakuda has to circle off to start implementing his game plan. I'm sure this wasn't Kakuda's game plan.
I'm almost surprised Jeffrey hasn't started stomping the feet yet, as we've seen earlier on in this competition today.
He's definitely staying busy.
Aaron Jeffrey's highly impressive performance insofar tonight.
Yeah, no doubt. Kakuda really has to fight off this cage right here. Good knees to the body.
Knees. Aaron Jeffrey is not playing around with those knees. He's not doing it to
tear into the body. Good knee by Kakuda, though. Oh, big knee by Kakuda.
Oh, my goodness. What a tough gentleman in Aaron Jeffrey.
And he just keeps pushing forward, unrelenting in this game plan of just grinding him out up against the cage. But now Kakuda throwing a couple heavy shots.
I mean, take a look at Kakuda's back. It looks like he's been getting hit there quite a bit these last couple rounds.
Oh, another good knee by Kakuda, but he's not getting all of his hips behind it because he's up against the fence.
Just extreme pressure on the side of Aaron Jeffrey.
And Grant, you being a man yourself who's trained, how grueling is it to hold a man with full adrenaline going up against this cage and be the guy being held up against there?
I'm sure right now Dan Kakuda thought he was in control, but right now he's probably highly concerned with not being taken down.
There's no doubt.
It's tough whenever you become preoccupied with one concern and your opponent feeds you 3 more things to be concerned about. That's how they win a fight.
Jeffrey constantly landing from right hand, then in the left hand flurries, kneeing the inside of the legs. Kakuda's legs are going to be really bruised up tomorrow.
Aaron Jeffrey's clinch game is second to none here in the cage tonight at Gladiators.
Oh, is he going to go for it? Oh, Kakuda slips free, but pressed right up again against the cage. Good control by Jeffrey, really implementing that. Good overhand right.
Wow.
Kakuda, oh, big knee by Kakuda.
Aaron Jeffrey, Dan Kakuda, the 3rd round is done, and the fight will go to the judges.
Jeffrey's hands went up in the air right away. He feels he did enough, and boy, I'll tell you what, that last round was impressive.
Aaron Jeffrey just had it in his head. He's got the mental game down. He knew in that 3rd round he was tired, and he had been back and forth with Kakuda. But man, oh man, did he turn up the volume in the 3rd round.
Keep in mind, Aaron Jeffrey is 21 years old, and the maturity he showed in that tough fight to stick to a game plan and not try to gunsling with Kakuda when he had the opportunities. And it seemed like Kakuda the whole time was trying to lure him into that style. And boy, he kept his head down and grind and stayed active against Kakuda.
I will say, let's have a look at our instant replay, Charlie, and see how that last round went. We'll notice here, Jeffrey spent a significant amount of the last round in this position.
No doubt, pushing. Look how he just keeps manhandling Kakuda, pushing him up against the cage. Knee after knee after knee striking, and then he switches it up. He'll work his punches.
I mean, whenever you're throwing that volume of knees, it doesn't matter if you're landing them perfectly. It doesn't matter if you're landing them on Kakuda's forearms. They're going to begin to hurt.
Anyone that's ever been in this training in this position knows how grueling this is.
And now to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from one of these fighters. Another outstanding fight. Someone having a fight tonight. 2 judges scored 30-27, 1 scored 29-28 for your winner. By unanimous decision, and new Gladiators of the Cage amateur middleweight champion of the world, out of the red corner, the Abbott, Aaron Jeffrey.
I got to tell you what, if the question is, did he do enough? Yes, he did.
You folks have made a little bit of travel to see you do this tonight. What do you want to thank?
I want to thank all my friends and family who came out to see me. You guys are the best. I also want to thank everyone from Gladiators of the Cage for taking me and letting me have this title fight. Dan, he was a sick opponent. It was a tough fight.
You seem to time up and frustrate him. Never let him get a chance to use his violent crystal justice. You time up and put the knees to him. Was that the plan?
That was exactly the plan. I knew Dan's a really good striker. I didn't want him to get that. I knew if I put him on the fence, I could wear him out, and that's what I did.
Outstanding. Congratulations to our Gladiators of the Cage amateur middleweight champion of the world, the enormous Aaron Jeffrey. If you've been enjoying this, hold on. The pros are coming up next. We're going to take a brief intermission. Visit the concession stand, visit the Little Bruiser Fighter, and get your Gladiators of the Cage t-shirt. Short break and the professional MMA fighters return next.
What a fight between Aaron Jeffries and Dan Kakuda. No one saw that coming. I mean, that was an amazing fight. Aaron Jeffries chose a game plan, and he stuck to it until he got the decision, and that makes him the new Gladiators of the Cage middleweight champion.
What maturity he showed to stick to that game plan, fighting an older, tough fighter in Kakuda, and boy, he just kept to that game plan and grounded out.
Absolutely. Perfect clinch game. Perfect clinch game up against the fence. He utilized everything that he needed to. I was asking myself, why is he not foot stomping? Why is he not breaking and throwing the combos? Why would he? He's got him pinned up against the fence, and he's destroying his legs.
Yeah, and it was a clinch game against a Thai boxer, and anyone who's trained with a good Thai boxer knows their abilities of clinch. Great job, and that shows pushing a guy up against the cage is way different than pushing a guy up against the ropes, and that's what makes a difference when you're in a cage match.
Without a doubt. I have to say, the first round, I was a little bit concerned for Jeffries. I thought Kakuda was going to start getting into his rhythm, get his tie clenches, start throwing those pivoting and turning tie knees. It didn't end up that way.
Jeffrey just would not allow it.
Jeffrey baited him into that tie game and wrestled him out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. What a great fight tonight at Gladiators of the Cage. And we're happy to have a new Gladiators of the Cage middleweight title holder coming all the way from Canada. This is an international game now.
Well, now he's got 2 straps. And you know what? I think he's going to be eager to defend it again and come back. I think he's the type of guy that's going to say, I'm ready to do this as soon as you can get me back on a card.
I certainly hope so. I can't wait to see Jeffries fight again.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Wilkins passed straight from half guard to mount and pushed his knee through, went right to mount. Big elbow. And some strikes and elbows. Willett doesn't really have much of an answer right now other than cover up. He's got to start moving, otherwise Chip Snyder's going to hop in.
Chip Snyder's taking down on him. Yeah, referee's taking a hard look here. Wilkins is probably wondering what he's got to do to get it stopped. Willett is probably not even that he's that hurt.
Just doesn't have an answer.
It's very tough to get out of this position. Back to the ground. He's a high-level wrestler. The Mat Factory, known for their wrestling and their incredible work ethic. And a huge... Wow.
That's one way to get the fight to the ground.
That is one way to get the fight. Oh, my. Woo. Wow.
I mean, it's what I've been working towards for so long, and it's a huge step, and it's just everything. You can't really describe it. You realize that all the work and effort you put in wasn't just work and effort for nothing. It's paid off and it's meant something. I don't think it'll sink in until the plane touches down in Dublin, and I think it'll sink in real fast. He's definitely tough. He's a wrestler, got kind of style, and he's from Sweden. He's tough. He's going to be a test. I mean, he fought some of the best guys in the world, and I keep hearing from different people, this isn't just a UFC fight. I mean, they're kind of really throwing you in there against one of the top guys, and I mean, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best, and now it's time for me to prove it. I just like competing. I mean, I'm a competitor. I mean, I can't play checkers without getting all fired up about it. Like,
Dempsey is landing every shot he wants and will, and it is over. It is all over.
I thank Gladiators of the Cage and Robert Joseph for helping me get to the UFC, giving me all the fights. And I mean, I have a lot of friends that helped me through, my family that helped me through, my girlfriend. I mean, there's so many people that can't really thank everybody, because everyone has a hand in it, no matter how big or small it is. So.
And he taps. Howard taps.
Chris Dempsey!
Style from Stephen Thompson from UFC. Nice kick. That karate style, Stephen Thompson known for that as well.
Another kick caught him.
Wow.
Zach has a good opportunity. Oh, wow.
And a surprising and sudden submission.
That calling it out, it just puts a more mental factor. Great takedown. I like how Mazada actually he's changing his leads quite a bit.
Fire the counter straight right off of that low leg kick. Again, Mazada begins to employ the wrestling.
Yep. Nice.
Opposite like that, like that.
And that's it.
That's it.
This north-south choke here. And he taps. Howard taps.
Could this be it? Taking the back of crowds. Trying to sink the...
My name is Jordan Espinosa. I fight for Demolition Fight Team.
I'm Jeremy Pender. I fight out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
The MMA scene has changed greatly, I think, in the past 5 years, and also I think since I started in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then I moved over here to Ohio for the past year, there's two different cultures of fighting. Out there, I feel like the commission's not really as strict and stuff, and also the fighters aren't even as mature. They'll let a 10-0 pro fighter fight a 0-7 amateur fighter as a pro debut. So, I mean, like, in that respect, when I came over here, I feel like a lot of the amateurs that were experienced in it shows in the pro level.
What I like most about MMA is kind of like getting in there and seeing what kind of person you are. It's truth comes out in the cage, man, about what really went down in your training, what really went down in your diet, all that good stuff. The truth comes out on that, and I like that. I like honesty.
What a scramble by two middleweight fighters in the cage and Gladiators of the Cage tonight.
You know, we'll see if he can take advantage of that. But to come underneath those, if he uses some feints and slips, if Pietro got caught there, he looked rough.
Right hands.
Swings. When he takes a punch, I mean, it's coming from back around.
Yeah, there's a lot of force behind that punch. Pietro's looking for the takedown here, and he gets it, and that's a big takedown.
Out of the blue corner, Tony DePietro!
What's happening right now? Big knee.
Knee to the body by Taylor. Those are not allowed to the face, even in these advanced amateur rules. One of them almost caught his chin.
Oh, here's some. Look at these strikes. Ground and pound by Taylor. Taylor's not even worrying about the legs and just coming in. Still trying to catch that kick, but
nice body shot. Another one with a knee.
Fighting out of the red corner, Tobias Taylor!
We've gone through 7 amateur fights, had a fantastic amount of success with the different fights. We have a new middleweight champion for Gladiators of the Cage, and now we're about to move on to the professionals. Coming up next is we're going to go over the tail of the tape for Jordan Espinosa versus Jeremy Pender. Here we have Jordan Espinosa, 24 years of age, 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds with an even record of 4 wins, 4 losses. He is taking on Jeremy Pender, age 27 years old, 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 135 pounds with a record of 10 wins, 8 losses.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're scoring. It is now Pittsburgh 4, Cleveland 3. They're mounting a comeback. This is our first professional event of the evening. It's in the professional bantamweight division of the Gladiators of the Cage, calling for 3 5-minute rounds. First fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed 130 pounds. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall with an 11-win, 8-loss record. He fights for Vision MMA from Cincinnati, Ohio. Our fighting for Team Pittsburgh this evening, Jeremy Party Boy Pender! Pender! And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed 130 pounds, stands 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. His record, 4 wins, 4 losses. He represents Demolition Fight Team from Findlay, Ohio, fighting for Team Cleveland. It's Jordan Espinosa!
Getting ready to begin round 1 of Jordan Espinosa versus Jeremy Pender, our first professional fight of the evening.
Here we go. Touch of gloves. Espinosa working that low kick very fast. Nice counter punch by Pender. Inside leg kick, well done by Espinosa. Staying light on his feet, on the balls of the feet. I love seeing that.
Espinosa light on his feet, but also circling toward the hard right hand of Pender.
Nice catch of the leg of Pender. Putting him on his back end. Pender quick to get up.
Both fighters posturing, considering their options. Big kick by Espinosa.
He's really found a home for that leg kick.
Inside leg kick by Espinosa.
I like the idea of switching that up. Good flying knee. Pender standing firm in his ground, now trying to back Espinosa up against the cage.
Flying knee appeared to land on Pender's chin. Unfazed is Pender.
Definitely got his attention. That's why he pushed him up against the cage, and he's trying to smother him now. But a really good job of using the legs, both kneeing and kicking by Espinosa.
Pender going for that high crotch single. Espinosa doing a beautiful job defending it, and Espinosa is onside.
Pender's got to hold on to the right leg of Espinosa. If Espinosa gets that leg out, he's going to have full side control. He's actually looking here for a choke. This is a really nice tight crank here. Looks like Pender's safe as long as he doesn't let him roll it through. Espinosa regroups, gets north-south position, finding a home for some more punches.
And I think this should be a good time to mention also, Charlie, that the professionals also are allowed to throw elbows. I didn't mention that earlier, but that's such a huge aspect of the professional game whenever it comes to getting cuts on the skin or throwing really hard strikes from close and on the ground.
Definitely, when training pro fighters, that's one thing I love to implement. Use the elbows as much as possible. Your elbows are way less fragile than your hands. The more you can save your hands and the more you can land an elbow, I would take one elbow strike to 10 punches any day of the week.
Pender having a fairly active guard, looking for feet on the hips. Espinosa postures and throws for the ground and pound.
Pender trying to slow the fight down. Espinosa doing a good job staying in close, not extending his arms, not pulling his head up high, not giving anything. Anytime you extend in this game, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you give something up, and that's what Pender's waiting for him to overextend so he can look for that arm bar or that triangle choke.
As we've already seen Pender attempting to shove the right arm of Espinosa into his crotch, setting up the triangle choke.
I look for the referee to get involved here. Oh, unless Espinosa keeps doing that. That's what Espinosa needs to do. He needs to get up, and he needs to get out of that clasp that Pender has him. Good job.
Pender's doing a great job locking Espinosa down. I will say this, if Pender's guard isn't active enough, the referee has every reason to stand those two fighters up.
You know, once again, it goes to that game plan of Pender. He's allowing this fight to go on. Remember, Espinosa and his record, what happens after this first round? And Pender's doing a really good job slowing it down, giving Espinosa some maybe false sense of security, but then it's really going to be in his head in that second round.
Absolutely. I wouldn't doubt that Pender's coaches gave him the same advice that you had just mentioned a little bit ago. Get him past the first round, drag him into deep waters, and drown him.
I think that's definitely the game plan they're trying to implement. Good exchange again. Espinosa really working those leg kicks. I like the fact that he's switching from inside to outside because a good counter to that outside leg kick is an overhand right from your opponent. But if you can work that inside leg kick, you take away that power from that overhand right from your opponent.
Absolutely, as well as jacking your opponent's legs apart and opening up the guard in their hands.
Another
beautiful
good leg kick. Well placed also. It's right above the knee on the nerve. That's really going to affect the second and third round performance of Pender if it goes that long.
Espinosa has not lost the bounce in his step. Still light on his toes.
Looks like Pender is just really relaxing and not worrying about this first round as much, saying, hey, look, let's get to that second and third round and really make him think and see what happens.
And it appears that Jeremy Pender is 26 seconds from pulling Jordan Espinosa out of the first round.
Nice exchange by Espinosa. Ooh, he pulled that punch back. He's seen something he didn't like there and didn't follow through with that punch. Goes for a high kick and slips. Espinosa's right back to his feet.
A lot of slipping happening right now.
Yeah, as you have all these fighters in the cage, the mat surface starts getting a little wet from all the sweat. Makes it a little more, oh, went for a spinning back kick, but he didn't pull it off. The bell sounds.
First round is in the books between Jordan Espinosa and Jeremy Pender here at Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7. I have to say that was a very telling first round as far as everything that we've gone over. Espinosa has never won a fight after the first round, which says to me and everyone else, if he goes ahead to win this fight in the second or third round, it'll be a first for him as a cage fighter.
Yeah, and I think that's already in Espinosa's head, and it's probably something his coaches, if I was definitely his coach, I'd be telling him, look, you can't let this get in your mind and mess with you. If this goes to the next round, we got to overcome that and beat that, where Pender's going to use that at his full advantage. He's going to want to press the action and try to get in Espinosa's head. At least that's what I'm thinking the game plan is here.
Absolutely.
Espinosa's looking relaxed, you know, but hey, this is where he's going to have to step it up.
Round two, starting off, Jordan Espinosa v. Jeremy Pender. Pender taking center cage right away, throwing a 1-2-3 flurry at Espinosa. Espinosa looking to counter.
He's already pressing that action. Grant, he's already pushing forward. Nice left hand, very stiff left hand by Pender. And he's starting to counter that leg kick we've been talking about. He's been letting it fly from Espinosa and not really checking it and not throwing the overhand right.
Beautiful movement from Espinosa. His feet
Another
are
good
constantly
left.
moving. His hands are constantly moving. It's like he's in he's doing a continuous feint.
Good exchange.
Wow.
Espinosa going for it there.
Just watch the feet of Espinosa. He should be cutting these angles and getting his strikes off with no problem at all.
Yeah, Pender's just really seeming to stand in front of him and not move as much. I'd really like to see him push forward just like that, work a 1-2-3 combination and slow Espinosa's movement down. But Espinosa's definitely proven that maybe that first round, getting into the second and third round, he's overcome it.
Just judging by looking at Espinosa, I would say that he has the power to get a knockout going on against Jeremy Pender. He just needs to find his range. Pender's 3 inches taller than Espinosa, which means Espinosa has to really get in there what I like to call uncomfortably close to throw his punches. Oftentimes, that's the best way to get a result out of a big, strong, shorter fighter like Espinosa.
No doubt, and I like the idea that he switched it up. When Espinosa had an opening, he threw to the body. He's keeping Pender thinking. He's not allowing Pender just to, say, he's just going to keep throwing that low kick and time him and then exchange with the punch.
Absolutely. Jeremy Pender appears to feel somewhat invincible.
Looked like a little bit of a low blow there. Pender's going to have up to 5 minutes if he needs it, and it's really starting to seem like it's really starting to bother him now. He's starting to feel it. Of course, it was unintentional.
Beautiful spinning back kick technique by Pender.
Pender's a really clean fighter, consummate professional.
Espinosa taking his allotted time to recover from the low blow.
But do you think this could be an advantage to Pender? Because it seemed like he wasn't getting to implement his game plan as much. Maybe do you think this slows everything down and maybe he can think a little bit more and regroup?
It really could. I mean, I'm not sure if this might be indicative of his record in the past, but Espinosa appears to just be turning the volume up higher and higher and higher on his movement, and that can make people a little bit lackadaisical sometimes. Maybe they'll make him flurry in with their hands down.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, good exchange. Good head movement by Espinosa. Pushed up against the cage, and he gives a nice knee to Pender. Pender's got him pressed up against the fence now. Good foot stomp. We've seen a lot of those tonight. Now he's got a single. Now Pender has to turn that corner and drag him off that cage. He's trying to get a leg behind. Great job, Espinosa, though, fighting it off. Great balance and nice separation by Espinosa.
Beautiful takedown defense by Espinosa.
You can tell he's really been working on that takedown defense against a guy like Pender. Pender just trying to wing a couple punches. Seems like he's getting frustrated with the movement of Espinosa, Grant. What do you think?
I would say so. If I were Espinosa's coach, one of the things I would be telling him is keep your opponent confused. You want to drag him into those later rounds. Keep moving. Keep him getting tired, you know. Espinosa appears to be in phenomenal shape.
It's really starting to frustrate Pender, it seems, and Pender's got a mouse under his right eye also. It's a stick and move method. Pender's good head movement again by Espinosa, but Pender pushing him. Now he's got to capitalize on this. He's working the right hand. Espinosa blocking most of those. Pender's really got to push in and go for those legs again and try to drag him down when he's against that fence. Another good foot stomp. Those really hurt.
It is the night of foot stomps here tonight, Charlie.
I've seen more foot stomps tonight than probably our last 3 events combined.
Absolutely.
Very, very effective.
Pender doing a great job of keeping Espinosa's head up, stomping on the foot and distracting his other leg.
You know, it really does change the whole way your opponent's thinking. It allows you to open other things up because when your body reacts and it feels pain, it stops thinking about something else and it opens up more opportunities. You're not going to end a fight probably with a foot stomp ever, but you're definitely getting the mind of the fighter off of it.
Absolutely, and here we see again Pender utilizing great Greco-Roman wrestling skills, having that nice deep underhook on the fence, and look for him to control Espinosa's chin with his forehead.
Oh, he finally looked to get the takedown, and Espinosa switched it in midair and lands in top position. Pender does a good job of pulling guard real quick.
Pender's face is showing the wear of this fight.
It definitely is, Grant.
Pender appears to be holding down Espinosa, hopefully, possibly for a stand-up, possibly trying to work for a submission as he's done in the past.
He needs to get out of there. He needs to separate, and he needs to push away. I think Espinosa will be kind of content here to rest this out because I think he feels very confident this round is his. So Pender has to make a move. He has to get him to extend. He has to get him to make a mistake. There's only 10 seconds left in this round.
High guard by Pender. Oh, and the round is over and in the books. Jordan Espinosa v. Jeremy Pender. Back and forth round, I'd have to say, Charlie.
Yeah, I think really Espinosa's kind of starting to overwhelm Pender, and he's really implementing his game plan to a T. I think it's starting to frustrate Pender. The head movement, I think, is a little more than Pender really expected from Espinosa, and he's doing a great job of mixing things up.
Absolutely. Espinosa not staying in one place for more than a moment. Very impressive footwork as well.
And now here's the real deep waters. This is where we're going to see Espinosa. We're going to see if maybe he's out of that same pattern he's been in, and now we're going to see this is his round.
I'm not exactly sure how Jordan Espinosa prepared for this fight, but it seems like he must have done a good job because he is ready and raring to go heading into the third round here tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
Coming into the third round, Jordan Espinosa v. Jeremy Pender at Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7. And the glove touch.
Oh, nice shot by Espinosa. I think that was the whole plan as soon as he got back there. If I'm Espinosa, you got to stay in close. Don't let Pender stand back up. Keep him on his back and work for a better position. Good job of Pender getting up. Espinosa didn't want to engage with those long legs of Pender.
It would almost seem as if Espinosa could just ride the rest of this round out if he continues to utilize superior footwork and get the takedown like he just did.
Yeah, and I think that was the whole game plan. You got to remember the judges see that as points, and a great Superman punch diving into that.
Tremendous cardiovascular conditioning on the part of both fighters here tonight.
Yeah, I really like the job Espinosa's been doing with his footwork. He's been sticking and moving, sticking and moving. And you know what? He went to the well again. He saw that he got that takedown, and his confidence is really up.
Beautiful shot by Espinosa. Very good.
Now, Pender's going deep on that choke, though.
And Jeremy Pender has shown in the past that he can win via choke.
Espinosa has an arm, and he got his head out. Good job, but that just shows if you go to the well too many times, Pender can catch you. These guys are pros. They know every position and facet of this game.
Absolutely.
Good job of Espinosa. Pender, good job getting up.
Beautiful follow-on kick by Espinosa. Pender stalking his opponent.
Now Pender pressing the action up against the cage. Kind of giving Espinosa a taste of his own medicine here for a minute, smothering him a little bit.
Now, we know Pender has the skills to submit his opponents. What we haven't seen yet in this fight is Jeremy Pender get a really clean takedown and get a good position like full mount or the back. I think that would be something that he should be aiming for in this third round.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's time. He knows he has to push the pace right now. He needs to separate. A clinch is not going to win him the round. And another takedown by Espinosa. He's just really pushing through and taking over this fight.
Espinosa on top again in the guard of Pender. Look for Pender to continue his attempt at hopefully a triangle or an armbar from the bottom.
He's really imposing his will here in the third round. I'm very impressed with Espinosa. If you take a look, yeah, he was starting to push Espinosa's right hand down, which was a setup for a triangle. Espinosa immediately realized that and pulled out. Look again, the left hand of Pender has the right wrist of Espinosa, and he's trying to push that between his own legs, and he's trying to set up a triangle choke. But you can see Espinosa realizes that. He senses it, and he keeps moving in close.
Absolutely. Espinosa keeping his elbow outside of the hip of Pender.
I'd like to see more of that of Espinosa. Posture up and throw those punches. I think he's kind of concerned about posturing up because every time Espinosa's done it, Pender's done a great job of pushing off the hips of Espinosa and getting up. Good scramble. He's going to go for that same choke again, it looks like, Espinosa.
At this point, I would say he really is just trying to roll Pender onto his back.
Yeah, and this is a really tight neck crank if you've ever been caught in this. It's almost like a modified Darce choke, and it really is a lot of pressure on the back of the neck.
I have to say, I'm highly impressed by the wrestling pedigree of Jordan Espinosa. I had no idea going into this fight that he would be so capable of getting Pender down and getting on top of him.
He's definitely been working on his game a lot. It's been showing. There's the elbows I've been waiting to see. And you see how important it is. As soon as he gets to that half guard control, he can drop those elbows. When he's in the guard of Pender, we haven't seen one elbow land on Pender.
Pender appears to be cracking somewhat. A lot of marks and scars on his face. He's taken quite a beating.
Another good takedown, but he's exposed his neck on this. Pender's got to hold this tight.
Oh, no.
He's getting in deep. Good job of Espinosa getting his head out.
Espinosa playing a really clean, safe game plan here in the third round, hopefully getting the decision win. Pender still caught up on the submissions from the guard.
Yeah, there's like a riddle here that Pender just cannot get solved with Espinosa. I don't think this was the strategy and the game plan he was expecting from Espinosa.
I don't think anyone was expecting Espinosa to come out in the third round and shoot those clean double legs the way he's been doing.
You know, I think he got that confidence after he got that first one, Grant, and he just kept going for it. And, you know, Pender hasn't been able to stop him. Good ground and pound now by Espinosa.
I certainly hope this could be the beginning of a new Jordan Espinosa because I have just become a fan.
No doubt. You know, and he's a tough guy. He's never been knocked out. He was undefeated as an amateur fighter, and you know what? He's proven something tonight that...
Absolutely, and with the shots he had taken in this fight, I doubt if he'll ever be knocked out.
Jordan Espinosa has been in deep waters, and you know what? It looks like he may be on top.
Absolutely. I'm not going to call it. I'm not a judge, and it's not my job, but I will say I'm impressed that Jordan Espinosa, having gone his entire career, having never won past the first round, had such a dominant performance all the way into the end of the third.
No doubt. Definitely implementing a great game plan there, and staying persistent and consistent with that game plan is the way to win fights.
Absolutely. Great show of respect by both fighters.
Very impressed with his head movement.
Now let's have a look at our instant replay.
Look at that eye of Pender. I mean,
Espinosa doing a great job just posturing up and busting through the guard of Pender. I mean, he's blasting through everything, reaching wherever he can on Pender's face.
Yeah, he's definitely dominated the positions when it went to the ground. Pender seemed to have a little bit of advantage when it was up against the cage on the feet. But the riddle of Espinosa getting you down and just grinding through, just an iron will of Espinosa in this fight.
Beautiful fight by both opponents. Both opponents showed world-class heart and world-class fighting skills here tonight at Gladiators of the Cage.
I didn't expect anything less from this pro bout.
We are waiting for the judge's decision in this fight. Professional fight, Jordan Espinosa v. Jeremy Pender. This appears it could be a close one. This is taking a few minutes, I gotta say, Charlie.
I was just thinking the same thing, Grant. You know, when it takes a little bit of time, I think I am a fight fan, and I've been a fight fan and throughout my life, you know, for many, many years. And I don't envy these guys' job tonight because there's a lot of things to take into consideration.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to be a real eagle eye to choose a winner between two great fighters like this.
Yeah, two very technical fighters, two going in with a set game plan, it seemed, and it just seemed like one guy was a lot more able tonight to implement that game plan on the other.
Absolutely. World-class wrestling displayed today by Jordan Espinosa. Very impressive. And it actually makes a lot of sense, a lot of the things that he was doing now that I'm starting to understand. He just needs to get off with his wrestling, you know?
Right.
I mean, this is a guy who's got the ability to take guys down and ground and pound them at will.
Yeah, and I think he sensed that being pressed up against the cage wasn't working for him.
And now to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, our judges have scored a unanimous decision for our first pro fight this evening. All in favor of your winner, fighting out of the red corner, Jordan Espinosa. Tying it up. Jordan, that was quite a fight. What do you want to think? I want to thank Ohio. Everyone from Intermission, my team, my training partners, stereo, everyone back home out there, Mexico. I've got all your friends watching online. weights a couple years ago, so this is nice to get back. You know, it seemed like there was a different Jordan Espinosa in this cage tonight. A new and improved, not that there's anything wrong with the old one, but this one seemed like a new and improved Jordan Espinosa. I was 4-4, and I really didn't want to go below 500 because that's freaking ridiculous, but so I was making sure I got that one time. Outstanding. Congratulations. Let's hear it for Jordan Espinosa.
Wow, what a fight we just saw, Chuck. What a fight we just saw. Jordan Espinosa and Jeremy Pender went at it for 3 rounds, having Jordan Espinosa pull out his first decision win of his professional career.
Yeah, you know what? And the pros really brought it. They just showed such an array of skills and the depth of their skills and the ability to readjust. Hey, if this isn't working, I don't like the idea of Pender pushing me up against the cage. He seemed to dominate me. Let's switch this up. Let's get to takedown before he has the chance to press me up against the cage.
Absolutely. Very impressive wrestling by Espinosa. I can't stress enough how beautiful his double legs were, blasting out, taking side steps into the double legs and cutting corners. Perfect game plan implemented tonight by Jordan Espinosa.
And it's a great mental victory for him, too,
Absolutely.
because now he knows I can go the distance, I can go in the deep waters, and I can come out on top.
Absolutely. Coming up next on our fight card, we've got the 170-pound welterweight title fight for the professionals, Gladiators of the Cage MMA. We have Rocky Edwards fighting Zach Goble. Zach Goble is our current Gladiators of the Cage professional welterweight champion. His last fight was actually a decision win against Brett Schoenfeld at Gladiators of the Cage in Johnstown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a really interesting fight. I had the opportunity to meet Rocky Edwards backstage. He was the most polite cage fighter I've ever met in my entire life. I'm a fan. I met the guy. He's great. But I like Zach Goble, too. He's a local boy, and he knows how to throw down.
Yeah, he definitely does, and he comes out of a great fight camp also, which have guys representing in the UFC. So, I mean, they're at the top level of their sport, and even the UFC has recognized that and is starting to come in and want to look at the talent that we have to offer Gladiators of the Cage. So
Absolutely.
It's really important.
Absolutely.
Family owned and operated since 1956, Gillette Towing and Services are here for you. Our tow trucks operate 7 days a week, 24 hours a day when you need a tow. We offer hauling of heavy machinery and freight and can move oversized loads with escorts and cover all 48 lower states. Our excavation, demolition, and paving equipment can take care of any construction project you're working on, large or small. If your car needs repairs, we can handle mechanical as well as inspection and emissions. Call us today at 724-226-1222 or visit our website at rongillettinc.com.
Train hard, look good, feel better.
Come to the rehab center.
Initiate countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off.
Introducing the new 2013 Yamaha Raptor 700R. The most powerful, best performing sport ATV on the planet. Now in 3 great models, all assembled in the US and all ready to launch.
Available at LoJack's Yamaha in Tarentum, 724-226-3727.
My name is Rocky Edwards. I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
My name is Zach Goble.
Man, helping people. What drives me is helping people. Helping people get better, get fit. People that were told that they can't do anything, I help them do it. So that's what drives me. I mean, you can do anything on the ground that you can win by submission either way, be on top or be losing. I could be pounding someone, they armbar me. I mean, it's the best of both worlds. You can beat them stand up, beat them on the ground. It's a dogfight.
To make this sport acceptable to the mainstream, which it's still not, because I still feel like it's a cult sport. I mean, even football players are quitting football just to do this. I mean, because it's primal, and they don't, and no one in their life wants to ever have to fight.
What a scramble by two middleweight fighters in the cage at Gladiators of the Cage tonight. We are awaiting our next fight. It is a 170-pound title fight in the professional division here at Gladiators of the Cage. We're about to watch Rocky Edwards take on Zach Goble for the strap. What an exciting fight this is about to be.
You know what? Yeah, everyone, there's a different atmosphere, not only in a title fight, but in a professional title fight. You know, these guys have been headlining shows for a while. I've been looking forward to seeing this fight myself as a fan, as a fighter. I'm ready.
Absolutely. Zach Goble's last fight was actually one that I happened to be there to commentate for. It was at the Johnstown, Pennsylvania, at the War Memorial for Gladiators of the Cage, where he beat Brett Schoenfeld via a unanimous decision. The important thing to know about Zach Goble after that fight is that he won the unanimous decision in 5 5-minute rounds. That is 25 minutes of pure fighting, and he came out on top.
And he beat a tough customer.
Absolutely. Tell you what, Charlie, let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Fighting right now, we have Zach Goble. He's 25 years of age, 5 feet 11 inches tall, 170 pounds, with a professional record of 4 wins and 1 loss. He is taking on Rocky Edwards, who is 31 years of age, 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, with a professional record of 6 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw.
With the score tied, Pittsburgh 4, Cleveland 4, it's time for our co-main event of the evening, and it's for the Gladiators of the Cage Professional Welterweight Championship of the World. First introducing your challenger, he's fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 171 pounds. He stands 5'11". His record is 6 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. He fights for Top Dog MMA and Llama MMA. He's from Sunbury, Ohio, representing the Ohio team, the challenger, Rocky Edwards. And the reigning Gladiators of the Cage welterweight champion of the world. He's in the blue corner. He weighed in at 171 pounds. He stands 5'11" and has a 4-win, 1-loss record. He represents the Mat Factory from Simpson, West Virginia, on Team Pittsburgh. It's Zach. Bad news at 11. Come on! Let's go to our referee contestant for the final instructions.
Fair fight and a clean fight. It's a championship fight, 5 5-minute rounds. Touch them up, not fight.
This is one I've really been looking forward to, Grant.
I got to say, I'm a fan of both fighters now after meeting Rocky, after seeing Goble fight.
Something very interesting about Rocky, hearing that he trains out of Sunbury, PA. I've actually known fighters, and one that a lot of people may know, Tim Boach, actually trained out of Sunbury, PA, and still does. Both throwing nice front teeps, keeping their guy at bay. Spinning round kick.
A lot of kicks coming from Goble right now. This is something we haven't seen a whole lot in the past. Goble throwing these lead high kicks.
Oh, he dropped his hands there. Rocky almost made him pay for that big time, just missed. Nice takedown, great head and arm control by Rocky.
Rocky riding it out now on top of Goble.
Now he's trying to stick Goble's hand between his legs to trap that arm in there, and he's doing a good job at trapping that arm, and it looks like he got the tap!
He got the tap! Rocky Edwards just armbarred Zach Goble with his legs.
What a submission!
What was the time on that? That's the first round finish, submission, and now Zach Goble is no longer the Gladiators of the Cage welterweight title holder. Rocky Edwards is now the Gladiators of the Cage welterweight title holder.
Wow, you know, that's something you do that is so technical, and you literally have millimeters to catch a hold like that. What a job. I knew it was getting tight when I saw his face, but boy, he just really did a great job of finishing that.
Wow.
I mean, that's such an elementary move in jiu-jitsu. You normally don't see people getting caught in that unless they're a white belt or maybe a low-level blue belt. But you have guys here that are professional fighters and champions at that.
Well, Rocky's showing that he really is a brown belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
If we could slow it down, hopefully, coming up here, we're going to finish and watch that finish. And we maybe hopefully walk through and show you exactly what happened, because the untrained eye, it's difficult to see.
Big toss coming up here by Rocky with the head and arm position.
And he actually trapped the arm already.
Yes.
If you can see that, he already has the left hand of Rocky trapped. And as soon as he lands, he's got it trapped there purposely. This is an accident. Rocky plans this here, and then he steps over beautifully. He takes Goble's left hand, jams it between his own legs, and is able to straighten the arm out. You know, a lot of times we'll do that in jiu-jitsu just to hold a position on a guy so we can work on the opposite side and try a Kimura on the other side. What a great job.
Very impressive performance by Rocky Edwards.
High level jiu-jitsu there. Really, really technical. That's a matter of millimeters to catch that move.
And now to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
Your winner at 50 seconds of round 1 by arm bar. And you, Gladiators of the Cage, number champion of the world, on the ring corner, Rocky Edwards! Rocky, we've got a new piece of jewelry for you to try on. Ladies, if you will. Rocky, it did not take you even a minute to become the new champion. How did that work out? Did you land that quickly? I did not land that quickly at all. It's a very tough opponent. I was watching a lot of film on him. Respect you very much. My fiance and my coach were telling me to go for a head knock. They said it was open for it. I figured I'd try. His kick out me at first. He's a very strong fellow, man. Who all would you like to thank? Any trainers, any gym members, any fans, any family? I want to thank everyone out here for coming out here and allowing me to have a chance to come to some Mr. Massey, where you at, man? Yeah, my family and friends over here. Show what's up, man. Everyone else on you guys, thank you for everything. I appreciate it. I want to thank Bob, my leg cast academy, mixed martial art, Polaris Side Condo, Top Dog MMA Fitness, and my professor calls Jr. and Carlos Oahu. Thank you guys. Team Hard. You told me you know this from him. I just met him tonight, but I've watched a lot of film on him for the past few months now. Let's hear it for our new welterweight champion of the world, Gladiators of the Cage, Rocky Edwards! And Charlie, it's up to you, folks.
Wow, what a performance. I'm literally speechless.
I'm kind of stunned too. You know, it's a move that we work on all the time in the gym, but you know what? He got it to the position where he could just get it just right, and he went for it. And sometimes that arm only moves so far, and you really don't expect it. And he felt, hey, I got this tight, and he finished.
That's right, and interestingly enough, that is a move that may not have had any success had they gone into the second or third round when they're both nice and sweaty.
Yeah, and you actually see it started with the head and the arm tie-up, a great toss and a great throw. So that submission actually started on the feet, ended on the ground. That's
Absolutely.
How technical.
Perfectly executed submission. He walked in with his brown belt. He kind of let everybody know what he was going to do, and there really was nothing that Goble could do about it. He got tossed. He already said that he knew that Goble was open for the head and arm toss.
And he tossed the Mat Factory guy. These guys are studs.
Absolutely.
You know, so he definitely went in there with a game plan, and you know, sometimes it happens not how you expect, but that's mixed martial arts.
Without a doubt. Wonderful fight by both fighters. I'm sad to see Zach Goble no longer be our welterweight champion, but I'm very happy that Rocky Edwards just took the title the way that he did.
Yeah, both of them they're both great representatives, not only of our sport, Gladiators of the Cage, and everyone in the MMA community. I'm really happy to see the results.
Absolutely. Coming up next is going to be our main event of the evening. It's Dom Steele versus Jose Figueroa. Very exciting fight. Dom Steele, 26 years of age, 5 feet 11 inches tall, 155 pounds. He has an 11-4 record. You have Jose Figueroa, 29 years of age, 6'3". That's 4 inches taller than Dom Steele, 155 pounds, with an 11-6 record. Their records are nearly identical. Their ages are very close, but you have Jose Figueroa with a 4-inch advantage over Dom Steele. It's going to be a great fight.
It's going to be very interesting, and the reason it's at this level of the fight and why it's going to be the main event, you just said it.
Absolutely. Now, actually, it's interesting that they pulled Jose Figueroa. They flew him in from Orlando, Florida. He's a native Florida fighter.
Yeah.
That's how bad Gladiators of the Cage wanted to see him come in and fight Dom Steele. Now, after the break, we're going to get into Dom Steele and Jose Figueroa. We'll go over the tail of the tape, but for now, let's have a word from our sponsors.
Badass Pads, the new reusable motorcycle seat. Badass Pads use pressure-sensitive sticky gel to ensure no scratches, rings, or dents. Badass Pads also feature a gel and memory foam insert for maximum comfort. Application is easy. Simply remove the protective plastic and place on a clean, dry fender or rider seat. When done, replace the plastic and store for the next ride. Get your Badass Pad today. Available in 3 sizes at badasspads.com.
Train hard, look good, feel better.
Come to the rehab center.
As long as I've been doing it, man, it's all, I got all types of motivation. I mean, I'm an instructor at my gym. That's a motivation. I got family. That's my main motivation. I got 2 sons. One's 7, one's like 11 months, and a fiance. So that's just enough to push me right there. But just getting, like I said, the main thing is fighting tough people. You know what I mean? When I have a tough fight, I know I'm going to train hard. It pushes me. I make sure I train hard for it every day, just to make sure I'm prepared.
My opponent is Jose Figueroa. I think that's his name. I don't know how to say it. He's very rude. Just saying. He does have nice braids, though. I love him in training day, him and his whole family. Other than that, I pull cars down the street. I lift up houses. I don't know. I'm just so nervous right now.
What a scramble by 2 middleweight fighters in the cage at Gladiators of the Cage tonight.
Welcome back, fight fans, to our main event of the evening. This is Gladiators of the Cage, the Road to Glory 7 in beautiful Northfield Park, Ohio, at the Hard Rock Rocksino. I'm Grant Berger, and with me again is Charlie Smith. We are preparing for the main event of the evening, Dom Steele v. Jose Figueroa. What do you think?
Fireworks. That's one word, fireworks. They brought Jose all the way in from Florida. He's coming tonight to fight. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Myself being a Pittsburgher, I would like to claim Jose Figueroa as a Pittsburgh competitor tonight. Perhaps we can even out the odds. Dom Steele from Norwood, Ohio. Obviously, he would have more of a local following here. However, Figueroa has a winning record right now. Jose Figueroa, 29 years of age, 6'3", 155 pounds. He's got a record of 11-6, and his last fight was a win versus Nissen Osterneck in February of this year via TKO.
Yeah, he's also fought some tough UFC competition at Edson Barboza, so he's fought at the high levels.
Absolutely.
As Jose Figueroa.
Our tail of the tape, Dom Steele, 26 years of age, 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, with a professional record of 11 wins and 4 losses. He is taking on Jose Figueroa, age 29 years old, 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, with a professional record of 11 wins and 6 losses. And now back to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official introduction.
Before we start our main event evening, I'd like to run you one more time this evening's events been sanctioned and approved by the Ohio Athletic Commission, Executive Director Bernie Bravado, your state inspector, Mr. David Myers, Assistant Inspector Randy Jarvis. Our judges for the main event, Justin Moore, Karen Rocco, and John Mills. Our referees for this evening have been Victor Van Trusten, and for this event, our main event, former UFC fighter, Morris Pence. Your position inside, Dr. Alan Klein, our timekeeper in the bell, Gino Camelli, I'm Dan Logan. It's time for our main event of the evening. And it's Team Cleveland 5, Team Pittsburgh 4. Welcome back, Team Cleveland. This is our main event of the evening, calling for 3 5-minute rounds. First fighting out of the blue corner, he weighed in at 169.8 pounds. He stands 6 foot 3 inches tall. He's 13-6. He fights for American top team from Orlando, Florida, representing Team Pittsburgh tonight. It's Jose, the People's Champ, Figueroa. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 170.5 pounds. He stands 6 feet tall. His record 10 wins, 4 losses. Fighting for Vision MMA out of Cincinnati, Ohio, for Team Cleveland. He is non-stop action-packed Dom D. Steele. Let's go to the ring for respect for the final instructions.
The glove touch happening a little bit early. I have to say, Figueroa is towering over Dom Steele, but Dom Steele does not look like he's going to be a very, very nice guy right now.
Has there been anyone on the card so far that has a more intimidating stare than Dom Steele?
Oh my gosh, Dom Steele is scary.
I want to run.
Both fighters having a nice, easy start.
Oh, Dom Steele got caught early. Figueroa's going in. Dom Steele composing himself very quickly and exchanging.
This is something I was worried about with Dom Steele a little bit. Now, I know he's a professional, he can take care of himself, but Dom Steele has lost 2 professional fights via KO. 2 fights as a professional, I mean, that can sometimes add up and lead to you being able to be knocked out a little easier.
Well, I think he's still a little groggy. If I'm Jose, I want to push in on this. I don't want to get over aggressive, but I do not want him time to recover. Oh man, Jose just missed another big overhand right.
Jose is just huge compared to Dom Steele right now.
Yeah, there is a big difference as far as reach and height, definitely.
Figueroa throwing some real nice leaping punches, looping punches, using his long arms.
Dom doubling up on a jab to no success. Oh, another
beautiful right hand by Figueroa.
Figueroa's throwing punches and bunches here.
That right hand is finding a home nearly every time he throws
good
it.
Good knee, good switch up by Figueroa. Dom just seems content. He's waiting. It seems like he's loading up for that one big shot, trying to get his rhythm. Another good combination. Jose is really kind of picking his shots right now and landing. Oh, another big overhand right that hurt Dom again.
Jose
Another
Figueroa
combination.
is not afraid to throw.
Tell you, Dom has a chin. He's taken some really flush shots. Good head movement to duck away from those and slip those punches. Another nice exchange. Dom landing a lead jab, but he's exposing himself every time to that overhand right. Oh, good high kick. Block. Well, Dom looks rocked a little bit. He's pressing. He's got clipped again with a big left hook. Flying knee to the body. Dom's in trouble. Figueroa is pushing the action.
Figueroa is capitalizing.
The corner's thrown in the towel.
It is over. The towel was thrown.
No, it's a hat. Somebody threw a hat in. Oh, Dom's rocked again.
Dom's steel is on wobbly legs, and it is over.
Great.
Jose Figueroa wins via referee stoppage.
Really good stoppage there by the referee. Dom's obviously rocked. He didn't get hit with just one shot, Grant. He got hit with multiple shots.
I just can't wait to take a look at this replay, Charlie.
Oh, no. I can't either.
I mean, the damage that Dom Steele just took in such a short period of time was very impressive. Here we see the high kick by Figueroa.
Oh, that really starts to rock Dom right there. And then Jose says, you know what, he senses it. That's the experience. And then another really hard kick. And then that overhand right that he's been landing all night. Tries to find a place. And then here he slips in that left hook with that. That really rocks Dom right there.
And this is the mark of a true winning professional, is they smell blood, they see blood, and they go in for the kill.
Yeah,
as it's been happening all night.
A flying knee there. And then that overhand right he landed all night and made short work of Dom Steele.
Wow, that had to have been the one that did him in right there. Dom Steele really took a hard shot right there.
What a great job by the referee. Right there, we thought that the towel was actually thrown in, and it was a fan's hat, it looks like. And obviously being white, we thought it was the towel, but the referee, look at his composure. Great job there.
Absolutely.
And allows the fight to go on. And Dom at this point is just hanging on, and Jose is just unrelenting with these shots.
Jose just touching him. And
Big
touching
overhand
him
right. And then, you know what, this is just a sign of a really great job of refereeing.
Beautiful straight right.
Yeah.
At this point, Figueroa is just working out on a heavy bag.
Yeah, and this one's going to finish it right there. The referee said, I've seen enough. I'm not going to let him take any more punishment. Great stoppage.
I mean, kudos to Dom Steele for being the toughest guy in the cage tonight. He stood there and ate those shots, and he still wanted to go.
He is a tough customer, man. He really is.
Now to our ring announcer, Dan Bogan, for the official decision.
Your referee, Forrest Pence, called a stop to the auction at 2 minutes, 56 seconds in the first round. Your winner, by technical knockout, Jose Figueroa. Which spaces the tie by Pittsburgh by Cleveland. Jose, you have having those in the other round. Heavy punches, coming out here, I'm the amazing UFC. Follow me, baby, follow me. There was some lovely sandwiches delivered there. Anyone want to go to the back? I want to thank man right here, Vince Hollis. I want to thank Paul Martinez. I want to thank everybody at MTT, Orlando, Goble. I want to thank Michigan family right here. And coming out of Mountain to see this in person, baby. Let's hear it for your winner of the main event, Jose, the People's Champion, Figueroa. Hard Rock Rocksino, Cleveland fans, thank you for coming out. Pittsburgh fans, thank you for making the trip. Our next show, August 9th, Stage AE, and send it back. You're ready and shut, you're ready now. Have a good night, Trouble Safety. Thank you.
Well, what a night of fights it has been.
What a way to finish the night, huh?
My God, the last two professional fights were, in my opinion, two of the best fights that I've seen in a very long time happen in the Gladiators of the Cage promotion.
Yeah, they just keep delivering. Robert Joseph, Scott Benton, putting together Gladiators of the Cage. What a phenomenal job.
Absolutely. And we also wanted to extend a special thanks to the Ohio State Athletic Commission for being a top-notch athletic commission in the United States.
Absolutely classy and very welcome. We love you guys.
Absolutely. Now we're going to be signing off. I'm Grant Berger.
I'm Charlie Smith.
And we'll catch you at the next event.